Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning to all of you listeners of the Street 919 FM. As the song says, wake up, everybody. Those of us who are still in our bed, under our blankets. Those of us who are sitting in our hammock, if you're around your kitchen table having that morning coffee. Or you're in your cars making your way to church this morning, wherever you're taking us in. Happy Sunday morning to all of you, and as usual, always a pleasure to be in studio on a Sunday morning. Because I'm Dominic, and Miss Felix will not be in this morning, so I have you all to myself today. Yes. Well, normal thing, you all know the drill. This is where I would normally open the lines to allow you to call in to give your morning greetings to whoever you may so wish to do. Let me say a special good morning to Mr. and Mrs. Giuseppe out there in San Fernando. And their friend who I believe is sitting in his hammock, I just can't remember his name. Good morning to Mother Tunapuna. Mano, good morning. And these days, Mano does get up a little late and stuff, but all right. Who else? Miss Gloria. I haven't heard Miss Gloria in a little bit. Good morning to Jenny and folks. Speaking of Jenny. Jenny, good morning.
Hi, morning, Dominic.
Morning.
Morning to all the 91.9 male and female warriors, Mr. Napuna, our peer prayer warrior, and Mr. Chance, our guru, all the Golan Guild. It kind of saddened me this morning to see this. I'm now seeing a post on the Fearless Warrior page where Miss Davy and her son were arrested. Apparently her son was arrested and she got the information. He was also beaten. So I think she went down there at Shagwana's police station to get some information, and they wasn't allowing her to see the son and all that. And I think when she did see him, she became aware he was beaten, all that. So as a mother, of course, he inquiring based on that she herself was arrested. So she's still... This is so troubling, right?
Oh my.
Yeah, this is so troubling. So I just wanted to alert persons. I don't have all the information. As I say, I'm reading from a post. I contacted Fearless Warrior and he confirmed that she was arrested and denied certain rights as well as her son. So I guess this will be a developing story because Julia Davy is family, radio family, family 91.9, and a person that we callers and listeners at 91.9 have grown to love. So, it's when you hear something like that, it has you're very concerned. I'm kind of lost for words, and I don't want to say much more about it until more information is out there. But I just wanted you all to know, so we send out our prayers and all our love, everything that she's safe, her son is safe, and she would get the proper justice, or that she would be treated in a way equal to how they would treat anybody else, like from Westmoreland or jacket and tie or anything like that. So I just wanted you all to know I really can't focus right now. Yeah, so I'll be listening. Okay.
Right, so thank you for that bit of information there, Jenny. I wasn't aware, but as you said, it most certainly is or would be a developing story that would pique the interest of those of us here on the Street 919 FM, colleagues of Juliet. So I'm sure that as the day unfolds, we will get some more information, but we would stay tuned to Fearless Warrior. See here. Okay, all right. I'll try to see if I could pull that up and see what's going on there. But certainly, concerning development there. Yes, folks. So we continue to take your calls. As you know, we give you the opportunity in the first hour on Sunday morning to call in and give your good morning greetings, and so on. All right. See here. Yes. Okay. Hello. Good morning.
Hi, morning, Dominic.
Hi. Morning.
Grace and peace unto you and your family.
And to you too.
All the best for the new year.
Likewise.
Good morning to all the callers and listeners. And good morning to my family. This morning, I want to tell the Prince of Peace, the Lord of my life, the one who have me alive, thanks for allowing me to see another day in the land of the living where my prayers and my supplication can be made known unto him. Good morning to Sharon and her entire family. Sharon, all the best for the new year. A blessed good morning to Miss Angie Special, Mommy Sauce Special, Miss Carol Special, my darling Miss Thomas, and good morning to Anne in Long Circular, and the both Carols, good morning. And everybody else, good morning. I listen. Thanks for the opportunity. Later.
Thank you. Yes, folks, so the lines are open. Continue to take your calls, 342-0081, 466-5391. Let me say good morning to Carol. The folks who are joining us on the social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, a special good morning to all of you. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Dominic.
Good morning.
My voice, Shak Kitty. Because of who you are, I give you glory. Because of who you are, I give you praise. Because of who you are, I will lift my voice and sing. Lord, I worship you because of who you are. Thank you, Dominic.
Thank you. Yes, so continue to take your calls, folks. Good morning to Mr. Chance as well. Let's see, we have another call on the line. Hello, good morning.
Morning, Dominic.
Hi, morning.
And how are you?
I am good, and yourself?
I'm fine, thank you.
Great.
I'd like to say good morning to you and your family. Good morning to Sharon and her family, Deep South, Mommy Sauce, Mother Tunapuna, Miss Jenny, and all the rest of callers of this radio station and the presenters. And to the boss of this radio station, good morning to him and his family also. Dominic, when you are finished working, reach home safely.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So the ads are almost upon us, folks. So you probably, if you still want to get in, you probably have another 2 minutes or so. So feel free, man. Oh, what's going on with you? Come now, man. You still sleeping? Find your blanket on Sundays, you know. Yeah. All right. Let me see here. All right. So I am seeing a story on the Facebook page of Fearless Warrior entitled "Free Iwer TV and her son now." And he gives an account of what it is would have taken place that would have led to, the arrest of Juliet and her son. It's a bit of a lengthy read, but Fearless Warrior, Devon Welch, it seems that he was present at the time that this arrest would have taken place, and he gives his account. So, we continue to monitor the situation, and our hearts go out to our friend and colleague Juliet, and hopefully this matter would be resolved as quickly as possible and in an amicable manner. So, for those of you, if anybody is hearing who might be able to get into contact with Juliet, just let us know that, let her know rather, that we are aware of the situation and that we keep her in our thoughts and prayers this morning. So continue to take your calls before we get into the issues, the topics, or the topic for today. It's not what I had originally planned to discuss, but you know, how things are these days, very fluid. Stuff just pops up and then you have to change the plans to suit. So the ads are coming up in about 45 seconds, so I guess we won't take any more calls at this point in time. So stay locked to the Street 919 FM. Thank you for choosing the Street 919 FM. And when we come back, I'll see if I could perhaps just give you the gist of what Fearless Warrior has posted with respect to Juliet. And then we would get into the issue of the day. So stay locked and we will be back in a little bit.
Soca Shot on the Street 919. Join the Street 919 4 times a day, Monday to Friday, for the Royal Castle Soca Shot. A look at the new soca for 2021. 8:30 a.m., 1:15 p.m., 2:30 p.m. and 4:30 p.m. Lock in to hear your favorite new soca shots right here on the Street 919 FM. Brought to you by Royal Castle. Our culture, our taste. That was the Royal Castle Soca Shot on the Street 919.
And the people in tongue is like the first time I play in mass. So don't focus on on what he say, no focus on what she say. Just keep focus on Iwer. Listen what KMC say. When Iwer said to jump up, when Iwer said to wave up, KMC said to jump up and wave up and jump up and wave up. Let's mash up the place. One more time, come on, mash up the place. I shall run the place. If I had one wish, let's mash up the place. One more time, come on, mash up the place. I it's what I'm the place, I'm what I'm the place. I'm on the left, move to the left, move to the left, move to the left, move down, move to the right, move to the right, move to the right, move down, run to the back, run to the back, run to the back, run down, come to the front line.
This is Wayne Delamore, Head Consultant and Director of Natural Health Solution. With over 15 years of experience in clinical nutrition and microscopy, we specialize in early detection and prevention. We incorporate evidence-based nutrition and science-driven analysis. Tune in to our educational program every Wednesday at 9:05 to 9:55 a.m. right here on the street 91.9 FM. For appointments, call 222-2189 or 304-5816. At Natural Health Solutions, we offer a natural solution to healthy living.
Looking for a safe and relaxed professional massage therapist and nutritionist? Look no further. Nature's Touch with Empress Judy and Associates offers a natural approach to better health. Treat yourself to a professional massage therapy and nutrition advice in a safe and relaxed atmosphere. Rejuvenate your body, mind, and soul at Nature's Touch Therapy. For an appointment, please call or WhatsApp 1-868-398-8282 or visit our Facebook page. Remember, your health is our responsibility at Nature's Touch.
Soca Prison, the movie, coming soon to cinemas near you. January 13, starring Neil Iwer George, KMC, Farmer Nappy, Lil Bits, Colonel Roberts, Doggy Slaughter, Swappy, Kevin DaCosta, Jay Campbell, Trinidad Killer, Jojo, Big Mike, Mr. Grill, Andrew Jeffers, Shiggy, Andrew Bailey, Rome, Oliver Blue, Marlon Duncan, Health, and many soca stars of Trinidad and Tobago. Coming soon to cinemas near you. Soca Prison, all COVID-19 protocols observed. Streaming now on www.socaflix.com. Caribbean Cinemas and IMAX TT, January 13.
Join Bishop Aaron and the Divine Problem Solving International Ministries together with ministers and choirs from Ghana, the Republic of the Congo, the Republic of Uganda, the United States, London, and from right here in Trinidad and Tobago on February 6th and February 27th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. here on the street 919 FM. For a closer look at spiritual principles of the Acts of the Apostles and a renaissance of your own faith in Jesus Christ. Bishop Aaron and the Divine Problem Solving International Ministries on February 6th and February 27th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. here on the street 919 FM.
Share the line. Share the line. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the line. Iwer George on Instagram. Share the line. Iwer TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the line. The Street 919 FM.
All right, and welcome back, Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome back to the listeners of the Street 919 FM, and thank you for staying locked to the Street. Remember, you can join us on the various social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Iwer TV. And well. All right, so if you're now joining us, please note that Miss Felix will not be in this morning. So it's just me, myself, and I today. So also, just before we would have gone to the break, Jenny would have called in and she would have given us some information with respect to the reported arrest of our colleague Iwer Tv. So I was able to pull up some of the information. So I'll just read this for you quickly. And it is a post on the page, the Facebook page of Fearless Warrior Devon Welch, and it's entitled Free Juliet Davy and Her Son Now. And it reads that on Saturday, January 16, 2021, at about 9:30 p.m., Juliet Davy was arrested for crying out for justice for her son, who was detained with other persons in the Shoguna's Vendors Market, where they sell clothes and shoes on Friday afternoon between 4:30 p.m. and 5:30 p.m. The son, who is the owner of his own company, went to the bank and had withdrawn cash to purchase clothes and sneakers and to spend the weekend with his girlfriend, who was also detained in the police dragnet that day. The son, who had 28 grams of marijuana on him, which is within the legal requirements in the law to have in your possession before going to the market, was ordered on the ground with many other customers, and even a barber who was in his was ordered out of his business and detained also that evening. On Friday night, Miss Davy, after reaching home after 9 that night, contacted me, the Fearless Warrior, and had informed me of what had transpired with her son. We immediately went to the Couva police station, where we were reliably informed that they were housing him along with others from the exercise there. We also inquired as to why he was not given a phone call, and was told that the task force officers were still out on the exercise and they had no information on what was going on, and that they were just being held there because of space, and that we were to come back Saturday from 8 a.m. to see the arresting officers. Miss Davy and I did just that and waited, but again, no information as to what is going on with her son. Miss Davy was calm and spoke to several officers before departing from the station to make several rounds around the South and Port of Spain district. While in Port of Spain in the afternoon, Miss Davy received a call from someone and had left Port of Spain. Davy went to the scene where her child was taken and began to do her own investigation as to what happened, and was told by persons there that the detainees were beaten by the police and they were denying persons their rights. Miss Davy became very emotional and started to cry, trying to figure out why they would have beaten her son and denying her also the right to speak to her son, and why they never allowed him the rights to a call. When we then obtained an attorney Saturday night and headed back to the Couva police station, and when we reached with the attorney and demanded to see her son, officers there began to act suspicious and started to dance us around. One of the officers even said that, I think they'd gone to Shagona station, which we took a pinch of salt, because the officer said that without even checking the cell, which got Juliet Davy frustrated. Finally, they brought him out to see his lawyer, and when Juliet got the opportunity, she questioned him as to why he never called her or anyone, and he told her they denied him his rights and to make a phone call, and he was beaten. It was at that point that Miss Davy broke down in tears and began demanding justice for her son and for him to be released immediately. Juliet Davy, all emotional as we tried our best to control her, kept demanding justice and shouting, "Look at what you all doing, poor people and children in this country." I, the Fearless Warrior myself, shocked at first hand what was happening, took Juliet outside, and an officer inside the station with no sympathy demanded that Juliet Davy leave the station immediately and requested that we carry her in the road. The said officer, vexed at the time, called for another female officer to arrest Juliet Davy, who was in the car park crying and demanding justice for her son. And even though I was standing by Juliet Davy and trying to speak to the officer shouted at me and told me, "Stand aside, or I too will be charged for obstruction of justice." The female officer then placed the handcuff on Miss Davy without reading her rights. Without reading her rights, even though Juliet asked the officers what she was being charged for, the officer refused to inform Miss Davy of the charges. It is expected that she may get station bail today. Stay tuned for developments as the day progresses. So that is the latest that we have on that matter. So, as I said, we'll see how things progress during the course of the day. Right, so I'll probably give you all probably another 5 minutes to call in if you so wish. Numbers to call 3420081 and 4665391. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Dominic. How are you? I now turn on to the radio. What going on with Miss Davy?
Apparently, she was arrested last night.
Yesterday, yeah. Yeah, what's going on, Mr. TV? I'm Dominic.
Yeah, well, according to a post on Facebook from Fearless Warrior Devon Welch, she was arrested along with her son, I guess for obstruction of justice or something like that. Yeah.
In relation to what?
Apparently her son was arrested and she went on, well, based on what is being reported, she went to the station to inquire as to what was going on. And, what she was upset about the treatment that was meted out to her son. And perhaps, she would have gotten emotional and stuff and calling out for justice. And the police arrested her. But I don't know what is the exact nature of the charge.
But this sounds like something... Well, I don't want to cast no aspersions here, but this is rather unfortunate.
Yes.
This is rather unfortunate. I just want to pray for Miss Davy and her family, and I hope this thing will be resolved. I hope there's nothing, no vendetta against her, because I know she's very popular on the airwaves.
Yes.
So we had to pray for her and to the development. I was going to talk politics this today, but this thing kind of upset me right now. All right. So you are alone, Mr. Remain.
Correct. Ms. Felix will not be here today.
All right, okay. Well, keep us up to date.
I will, as the information comes in.
Yes. Yeah.
Right, so we'll take your calls for another few minutes. Those of you who may wish to call in and express your sentiments to Ms. TV, you can feel free so to do at this point in time. Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning to my brother, Dominic.
Hey, Andrew.
Yeah, good morning. I listened to very attentively what they're saying there about the police and them. You see, they just tell us that we cannot tell them what to do. You understand? But we as citizens in this country, we have to know the law. And the law, as long as they arrest you, they must read your rights. They must read your rights. You have to stay silent. Anything you say could be held before the court, the court. Understand? And they tell you what is your charge, what you are charged for. Understand? If they have to be suspect first. Understand? What is suspect about? You come thinking about your son. And that is your right. That is your constitutional right. To go and ask any police, any station, what it is your son is charged or what is his charge that they lay on him. And so what they arrest him for. We have to know all these things. These are things that we must know. Otherwise they want us to walk blind so they could walk over us, you understand? Like when you're telling our citizens to get out of the police station belonging to no one, That is belonging to the state. The police station is belonging to the state. And if a man come in there and he violates the law, the police have a right to arrest him. They don't run him out of the station.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And guys, I've been looking into these things here. Because I find a lot of things. And you see, Trinidad is so corrupted, It's so corrupted. And Juliet Daly is a fighter. Is a fighter. And they have a lot of them to be against her. So they come after a kid to get after you, They come after the kid to get after you. But tell them, who God bless, no man could curse, No man could curse. And that's why they say, my mother teaches that from small, She said, keep away from them. Because you see from them a police touch you, you're blind. I hope my mother teaches this, She said, you have, like a curse will come down on you. From them the police touch you. So you keep far from them. You understand? Because they are working with Satan. Because look at how much things happen in this country. Millions of dollars in this country cannot be accounted for. And that is not interested to the police, That is not interested to the police. You understand? SIS, people own money. They run down that. You understand? They run down that. They shut it down. That's why he's running business in this country illegal. And they're still running it. And they shut down SIS. So you tell me, I just tell them that, I stand with the Almighty God, I stand with Him. And justice must be done. in this country, people are like, I want justice. You don't get a fair trial, and you have to get a fair trial first before you could get justice. Then you go to court, you don't get no fair trial there. You do not get no fair trial there. I telling people, a man come in my place and damage me, and I go to court, and I hear the judge sit down there and telling the jury, if all the time the man acted under self-defense, now the man coming to my property, my property coming too. You understand? I had the right to work the property, and he come there and he damaged me, and a judge just stand up and tell it, if you find the man acted under self-defense, you coming into my place to defend yourself? Huh? And you go tell me justice. I have no faith in them. All my justice come from the Almighty God. Everyone, every ounce. And I find it is unfair. Let the woman see his child. Let her. And the child, the boy supposed to get a call. A call is entitled to everybody that arrested. You have a call. Make a call to your lawyer or something. You understand? Make a call to your lawyer. Your lawyer come in. That's a right. That's a constitutional right. And if you don't know that, they'll take that away from you. Have a blessed day.
Thank you, Andrew. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, morning.
Let me see what I have to say. Yes. I thought was something drastic the young man get charged for. When I listen to you read this thing, it's so petty.
Yes.
What the only man for? You would tell the limit of the marijuana? What you sell it legally in the market? What you hold them for? But you know, some people know you answer them. If I hold she son, you go have something small from the lock up point.
Yes.
These things is happen. You see, when you're talking about certain things and provoking certain people, it is irritating them. But let me tell you something. I agree with Mr. Andrew this morning. It have no justice in this place. So when you have money, they can ride the justice system and they know to ride it. You see, when they don't have, that is it. But one thing I learned when these police come in your place, hush your mouth. Don't say nothing until they leave. Because there's a pretty slightest thing to charge you. At the time they came in to my brother's place was this SOE, Mrs. Bissessa call. So they were searching anybody else that they feel that black and poor and miserable. How they looking like gang leaders, so not a word was said because all I was waiting for is an answer to lock you up. You have to be careful in this place. Simple. Look how you never could plan you there.
True.
She may plan so much a nice thing for the weekend or to relax or whatever. And just so, wow, I really thought it was something drastic because I know some of these young people misguided and stuff. This simple thing? Nah, man. They really just wanted to lock up this lady. Everybody that get emotional when the child get locked up. Everybody. So there's nobody to come here and say, ma, but you with this. And everybody that get emotional when the child get locked up. Even if you get locked up, you'll get emotional. What is the situation? But they try to put things justice and all kind of thing, and a lawyer was there. Why do people those things? And the other day we was talking about this justice for this situation, and somebody, his host cut it, and he want a lawyer to come and talk, and all these kind of things. And we seeing that these people in this place really abusing people and using the law to abuse people. What is this about? Now you have to go and find money to pay a lawyer and this and that for a simple thing. He was in the legal limits. And so then they keeping you there and not charging you. There's something they have you there and they just let you go. It's an even advantage. You see what I'm making Mr. Andrew talking about? Forget that, you know. Them will just drag. And I'm telling you for a fact, I do not have the confidence in Mr. Barry Gifford. I don't care how they say it, when they say that, I don't have the confidence because we go in on 6 years or how many years, and no, you're not seeing much cases with these people and them real corruption. You might find Silver should be part of the opposition for knowing certain things, and I'm alleged she encouraged certain things and she's still there as an opposition leader. But I wait to hear what you're editing this morning, and I will call back and I will make my contribution.
Thank you, Kola. So I have time for one more call, folks, because I see the ad set is coming up again in about 2.5 minutes. So let's go. Hello, good morning.
Pleasant morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
We with the wrong station I have wrong number call. I'm sorry, the wrong number call.
Okay.
No one's calling that number.
Yeah, okay, well, I guess he didn't realize he was, yes, so we can take, let's go. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Dominic.
Morning.
How are you?
I am good, and yourself? Hello? Hello? Okay, don't know what went on there. Alright, so I have about 1.5 minutes. I can probably take just one more quick call if you are inclined so to do. Before we go to the ads, and when we come back at 10 o'clock, we will get into the issue. Let's see here. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, sir.
Morning. Now, listening to a lot of people say a lot of things based on what happened yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was there. I am familiar with the area, right? It's understood that parents defending the children. But when your children doing wrong, stand up and say your children doing wrong. These guys will be doing a lot of illegal stuff inside there. It so happened that police was passing at the same time, but they're so accustomed that police passing and going straight. Police realizes a lot of them inside there and stop and pull up on them. If you had illegal limit, why it is all around? They scatter. Now, police not too familiar with how inside there is situated. So some of them get catch, some of them get away. Right? These guys will be doing a lot of illegal stuff inside there. What they didn't realize is the police and them had a dog. And the dog finds certain things. You understand? Now, yes, they probably find within the illegal limit. But these guys will be doing a lot of stupidness inside there. A lot of stupidness. Some of the people that get hold inside there wasn't in there because they just sell inside there or because they're working inside there. Some of them went inside there to buy stuff and police happened to pull up on them at the same time. People need to listen and speak the truth. I understand it have bad law enforcement, but it have good law enforcement as well. And them guys and them just be doing a lot of stupidness inside there. A lot of stupidness. And if they continue, they will lose that area because they done lost it in court already. They done lost the area in court already. So if they continue doing the illegal stuff inside there, the original owner will put all of them out very soon. Because they're doing a lot of stupidness inside there. People need to say the correct thing.
All right, thanks. We'll leave it there, caller, for the ads. Thanks.
Whining on every shorty, I drunk, but I mind my own business. If you search for my location and find it in a station, I drunk, but I mind my own business. So leave me alone when I come through, yeah, move out the way, let me stunt. Leave me alone when I come through, yeah, move out the way. Leave me alone when I come through, yeah, move out the way, let me stunt. Leave me alone when I come through, yeah. I drink the rum whole day, I drink the rum whole night. Don't study you not at all, I just want drink more rum or alcohol. Whole day, I drink the rum whole night. Don't study you not at all, I just want drink more rum or alcohol. Knock bottle and spoon and drink the rum. Beat iron and drum and drink the rum. Girl wind up on me and drink the rum. Drunk fashion, knock bottle and spoon and drink the rum. Beat iron and drum and drink the rum. Girl wind up on me and drink the rum. Drunk fashion, I drink by myself. My rum is my friend. my girl, she go post, still doing the most. If you see me on a Monday and act like if it's Friday, I drunk, but I mind my own business. If you see me on a Juve and act like if it's payday, I drunk, but I mind my own business. Just leave me alone when I drinking rum. Just leave me alone. Whining on girl. Just leave me alone if I causing a scene. Just leave me alone. Just leave me alone. Just leave me alone.
On January 25th, put your ex by the ballot and vote for the PNM in the local government by-election. For Arima Central, Dr. Juliet Hillary Bernard. For Canupia, Rashid Ali. For Hindustan St. Mary's, Martina Lubon Lejar. For Hollywood, Leslie Shang Fong. And for Monkoko Alice Glenn, Janelle Schuler Smart. All our PNM candidates are committed to serving their communities with excellence. On January 25th, vote for excellence. Vote for the right choice. Vote for the PNM. Great is the PNM, and we shall prevail.
Voice PNM all the way on election day. It's the right choice at the right time. Hands in the air for the police. Hey.
Ikaro, I am Alatumishe Ifabamishe Aganki, better known as MC Duke, and every Monday between the hours of 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. I host a show called Orisha, The Way of Life, right here on the Sheet 919 FM, where I have guests passing through from the Orisha Ifa Baptist Diaspora to educate, edify, and inform you, the listening public, about Orisha Ifa practices. So remember to tune in every Monday between the hours of 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. for Orisha, The Way of Life.
Turn your lights down low and listen to the Master's Radio.
The Church of the Firstborn Assembly Miracle Center of 399 Eastern Main Road, Waiko in Sangre Grande is pleased to present Pastor Morris and Agnes Johnson and guests on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays here on the Street 919 FM. The Ministry of Worship Children's Hour and the Word is on Sundays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. On Tuesdays from 9 p.m. to midnight, see Jesus in every book of the Bible from Genesis to Revelation. And on Wednesdays from 9 p.m. to midnight, where we deal with current affairs from a biblical perspective. Tell your neighbors, tell your friends, tell everyone. For further information, visit us at www.churchofthefirstbornassembly.org or find us on Facebook. Email us at church668hope@gmail.com or call us at 753-1113 or 236-7271. Your free will gifts and offerings will be greatly appreciated. First Citizens Bank account number 795222.
Is listen for the call. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on.
Soka Prison, the movie, coming soon to cinemas near you. January 13, starring Neil Iwer George, AMC, Farmer Nappy, Lil Bits, Colonel Roberts, Doggy Slaughter, Sloppy, Kevin DaCosta, Jay Campbell, Trinidad Killer, Jojo, Big Mike, Mr. Grill, Andrew Jeffers, Shiggy, Andrew Bailey, Rome, Oliver Blue, Marlon Duncan, Health, and many soca stars of Trinidad and Tobago. Coming soon to cinemas near you. Soca Prison, all COVID-19 protocols observed. Streaming now on www.socaflix.com. Caribbean Cinemas and IMAX GT, January 13.
Royal Castle happily presents our New Year giveaway. When you buy a family meal, you could be in to win some happiness. A kitchen appliance combo of a new stove, fridge, and microwave. Whoa! living room set, a washer-dryer combo, or a dining room set. Other goodies include Samsung Smart TVs, grocery vouchers, or one of 20 tablets. Just write your info on your bill and slip it into the entry box in store. It's easy to win with our New Year giveaway.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Right, welcome back. Thank you for staying locked to the Street 919 FM. So before we would have gone to the ads, we would have had a caller who would have called in, to try and give us some, well, I don't want to say clarification, but some further background as to some of the goings on, I guess, at the market where Juliet's son would have been arrested. But again, such information is subject to verification. But for those of you who are just joining us, we would have learned earlier on that our colleague Iwer Tv would have been arrested and is currently detained. But as information comes to hand with respect to that matter, we will keep you apprised. Right. So, so much has been going on over the last week or so. And, well, the topic that I had originally intended to discuss today, which I had planned to discuss last week and the week before, again, I would have to put it off for another week to treat with another issue. So we know that next week, is it next week? Well, the 25th of January, there will be two sets of elections taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. Across in Tobago, we have the THA election, the much anticipated, long-awaited THA election. And in Trinidad, we are going to have 5 by-elections, local government by-elections for seats that would have been vacated because the previous holders of those seats would have offered themselves up for the general elections and now occupy seats in the lower house of the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago. And by virtue of that, their local government seats were vacated, and so those seats have to be filled. But in Trinidad, the campaign has been more or less low-key and has been playing second fiddle to what has been taking place in Tobago, where the campaign over there is far more heated and is drawing far more attention from the public. And within the last week or so, there's a particular issue that has been under the spotlight. And true to form, we see that members of the opposition, both in Tobago and Trinidad, have seen it fit to latch on to this issue because allegations of corruption against the PNM is something that is so rare, so few and far apart, that whenever one raises its head, the opposition always seeks to capitalize on that, because over the last 6 years or so, despite many attempts to throw allegations of corruption against the government, all have come to naught. All of them. We've heard allegations about the procurement of the ferries, allegations that the Prime Minister received $500,000 in a wire transfer, that he had a joint account with Vidya Dioki Singh in Miami, all manner of things, and everything has been dispelled. And so what we see is desperation. But there was this issue, and all of a sudden everybody now knows about the Auditor General's report. Auditor General's report, which has been around for donkey years, but citizens just generally don't have any interest, I suppose, in reading it. But it has now come front and center, and so there is some interest in it. But with specific reference to a project that would have been undertaken by the THA back in 2015, dealing with a zipline facility, to help to boost tourism on the island, not just international tourism, but local tourism as well. And based on the information that we've gathered or gleaned so far, for whatever reason, the project didn't pan out. And based on the information in the Auditor General's report, the minority party in Tobago, again, starved for allegations of corruption, have latched on to this and are now seeking to make it into an issue, creating a narrative of corruption where seemingly there is none, and further going to try and use it to score cheap political points where there is none to be had. And the man who is the leader of the minority party, the PDP, who says, I don't want to be chief secretary, same man who said, I no longer wish to be the PSA president and I will not be throwing my hat in the ring for the elections. That is what he would have told us sometime in 2019. But we all remember, for those of us who would have seen that interview that he did, you know, with all the tears and everything, and he put on the shades and so on, and he paused to say, and on more than one occasion, he repeated that he had no desire to continue to be the president of the PSA. Why? Because as he said, in his own words, he has done all that he can do for the public service. He has done all that he could do for the PSA, and now he is setting his sights on higher office so that he can do more for the people. Today, he remains the president of the PSA, having contested the recently held elections, and where he would have won by a pathetic margin, very, very pathetic, of just over 1,700 votes, given the fact that the paid membership of the Public Service Association is about just over 12,000 members, and you have a public service in excess of 60,000 persons. And the fact that he can only inspire 12,000 people to continue to pay their $100 a month membership dues is certainly an indictment on that individual. But not just that. What I also consider to be an indictment on this individual is the way that he has sought to approach this whole zipline project. Because far from it being what he's trying to make it out to be, his colleagues, both in Tobago and Trinidad, because let us not be fooled, Watson Duke is essentially the UNC proxy in Tobago. We would have played a clip for you all, I think it was on Friday, for Ramona Ramdial making her contribution to the budget in 2018, and whereafter she would have sought to criticize and chastise the government for, as she put it, cutting expenditure in Trinidad to send the money across to Tobago, and she would have given us a list of increases that the Minister of Finance would have facilitated for development in Tobago. And then she went on to say, I hope Watson Duke is listening. Now, if that doesn't tell a story, I don't know what does, but they will continue to deny it. But now they're trying to make it out to be, you know, a race thing. That the reason why the PNM in Tobago is trying to link Watson Duke with the UNC is to revive that whole Calcutta ship comment that was made by Hilton Sandy some years ago. So they're saying, well, they're using this now to frighten Tobagonians into believing that, if you put Watson Duke in power and the PDP in power in Tobago, that they're going to bring East Indians across to Tobago to take your land and all that kind of foolishness. Never mind the fact that was never mentioned by anybody on the PNM platform, but typical UNC love to say that the PNM likes to blow the racial dog whistle and that the PNM always bringing race into everything. The issue of race was not an issue in this election up until that press release that was put out by the newly minted PRO of the UNC, Kirk Mayhew, who it seems is trying his endeavor best to suck up to his political leader and perhaps maybe hoping to get a seat in the Senate. I don't know what his motives are, but right now he's batting 2 for 0. Not doing a very good job. But let me just play a quick clip for you of an interview that was done yesterday. It's not that long. It's about 4.5 minutes. An interview that was done with Watson Duke, I think, while he was doing some campaigning yesterday in Tobago. And just listen to what the gentleman has to say. Mr. Duke may be many things, but humble is definitely not one of them. So let me just play this for you quickly, and then we will get back into what I wanted to talk about today in respect of that whole zipline matter.
And the zipline project.
Well, first of all, Tracy, Davis and Celestine need to come straight to the public and answer the question. How could $2.5 million be spent and all that can be found by the Auditor General is a piece of rope. That to me needs proper explanation. Furthermore, I consider it quite strange, but not without merit coming from Tracy Celestine Davison, that she would blame public servants. You see, Tracy handlers are from Trinidad, and the chief handler is Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley. And just some months ago, he was threatening public servants, saying if all they vote for somebody else, all they go lose all their work. So she's almost singing the very same tune to them, that hey, you all have caused me to be exposed. Take the blame. You are going to lose your work. That's definitely a statement made in its truest form in error, because you cannot point out some 5 to 6 years later that the fault was public servants. You can't do that. There are rules, and if public servants behave themselves inappropriately, you can definitely ensure that they are charged by the administrator, and in case it's an administrator, the chief administrator can write up the administrator. And it's not beyond. In the case it's the chief administrator, the head of the public service can write up the chief administrator and ensure that the service commission or whatever forum they have for discipline at those levels kicked in. Not some 5 years later, you turn around when you have nowhere to run and you blame public officers as a scapegoat. But as I said, the statements were not without merit, as she's taking a cue from her handler, the chief handler, Dr. Christopher Rowley. And that's the reason why the Progressive Democratic Patriots, we have no handlers. Our political leader is right here in Tobago. They do not come from Trinidad. And we are here in Tobago to protect the interests of all Tobagonians. I say to public officers today, when we occupy office after the 25th of January, it would be a new day for public officers. They would be able to carry out their job without fear or favor, affection or ill will, to the greater good of the development of Trinidad and Tobago, and in Tobago in particular. We would welcome their advice. Whether it falls in our garden the right way, the wrong way, we welcome the advice and the guidance of public officers. They are there to protect the public purse and to protect the investments we made as perhaps policymakers.
Tracy Davidson, Celestine on the campaign trail is stating, why will you screamed in light of your court matter? What's your view on that?
I don't understand the question.
She is saying that you should not have been screened in terms of you having a court matter. You should not have been screened as a candidate. What's your view?
But I think it's not a question that's irrelevant. It's not worthy of an answer. As you can see, wherever Watson Duke appears, the people are war him. It's only the PNM who is warring me. But the people in the streets, they war Watson. Who they want? Ask the public servants, they war Watson.
You believe that you will retain your seat in Oxford?
I know that beyond the shadow of a doubt, I've worked. If you look around here, all of these projects is here because of Watson Duke. No other person. And the only change in the ingredient, PNM had run the country for 20, 40 years before, and watch, nothing has changed. As soon as Watson Duke entered, as soon as they put the black with the red, everything changed, the whole thing changed. And Roxborough will continue to develop exponentially and on steroids after the 25th of January, because we intend to accelerate the pace of development, not only in Roxborough, but the entire Tobago. There must be no country and town. Tobago must be an urban country where development is taking place, representative of the forward thinking of our people. Yeah?
Thank you.
And our PDP said that.
The people them want Watson. Wherever Watson go, the people them want him. There's only the PNM warring Watson. Just ask the PSA and public servants. Yeah? Well, out of over 12,000 financial members, only 1,700 of them wanted Watson. 11,000 of them didn't want Watson. Somebody need to tell him that. But where is the issue? And as I made the point before, it is, we see this for what it is. Now, I would agree with them, perhaps there may be need for a little more information, as to exactly what would have taken place with respect to that project. But what I find disingenuous on the part of Mr. Duke, Mr. Augustine, Dr. Kirk Mayhew, and other persons who have sought to make an issue out of what is, to my mind, largely a non-issue, is that where this information would have come from, seemingly, or the source that has been quoted for this information is the Auditor General's report. What exactly is this Auditor General's report? What's that really about? You all would have heard me mention that on a number of occasions over the last couple of years, because it makes for a very interesting read. And if it is you really want to understand and to know how government money is being spent, if you want to know the true state of the public service as it pertains to the expenditure of public monies, I definitely recommend that you read the Auditor General's report. It's an annual report, which basically gives you, a ball-by-ball play, so to speak, of the findings of the audit that is conducted by the Auditor General's Department with respect to the goings-on at the various ministries. And basically, it is intended to give us an idea as to whether or not the public service is operating as it should be in terms of accountability for public monies. Remember, every year we're talking about billions of dollars I don't like to use the term taxpayers' money, because the monies that are spent every year doesn't only belong to taxpayers. There are people in this country who don't pay any tax, but by virtue of the fact that those monies and those revenues come from the exploitation of the resources of the country, oil and gas and other things, it belongs to everybody. Whether you pay tax or you don't pay tax, that money belongs to you. And we want to know that it is being spent in a proper manner. We want to know that it is being spent in a manner that redounds to the benefit of all. And people are always complaining that, the money just not trickling down. There's only certain people getting the money, and we're hearing about this project and that project and all of that. But Mr. Duke and others, as I said, are trying to draw blood from stone with respect to this matter of this zipline project. But what I wanted to do today, folks, is to go through with you a little bit the contents of this Auditor General's report. And I do so because I saw there is a Facebook page of which I am a member, a Facebook page that came up not too long before, a little while before the last general election. The name of the Facebook page is Bull Pistol. And it is a private group containing members that is made up of PNM supporters, UNC supporters, people who are on the fence and so on. And essentially what it does is that people from time to time will post different things inside there depending on which side of the political fence they are on. And let me tell you, that is a most apt and ideal name for that group, because in the lead up to the election, let me tell you, Bull Pistol was sharing left, right and center in that group from both sides. And at one time, the UNC appeared to have the upper hand. But like about a month or so before the general election, I don't know, like the PNM supporters just all of a sudden wake up. Man was blows sharing left, right and center. The UNCB had them giddy. They didn't know what to do. I guess PNM supporters just got fed up, and people just started to pull up articles and remind them of the corruption that took place between 2010 and 2015. And they had no answer. And then all of a sudden, some of them just went quiet in the group. Quiet. And the few that had the gumption to continue to try and defend the indefensible, that is the United National Congress. Oh boy, stripes, endless licks. Since, following the general election, of course, the group has become a little bit sedate because, of course, the UNC members, they're not really posting much, but you have one or two of them who's still trying to hold on. And I saw one of them put up a post a couple days ago stating that the real reason why the UNC is interested in pushing this matter is not because they genuinely believe that there is any corruption there, but rather it's a rare opportunity that they get to hold the candle or the flame of the candle to the feet of the PNM, and that they're not going to let go of this. Whether there's any truth, any corruption there or not, they don't care. At the end of the day, as they claim, this matter has the PNM sweating, and we want to hold on to that. So, out of their own mouths, out of their own mouth. So they don't necessarily believe that there's any corruption there, but they just see as a rare opportunity, something that has been front and center, that is negative to the PNM, and they plan to milk it for all that it's worth. But on the part of, coming back to the issue of the PDP leader, the president of the PSA, my disappointment is that this is a missed opportunity on the part of Mr. Duke, that rather than trying to use this to score cheap political points, as I said before, where there is none to be had, he should have seen this as a watershed opportunity for him to highlight the inefficiencies and the deficiencies that exist in the public service and to champion the cause for public sector reform. And the government would have indicated before that this is something that they're very interested in, but it is a difficult task to undertake because of pushback from public servants. And I recall a couple years ago, the Prime Minister was speaking in the Parliament, and he sought to give an example to the Speaker and to the wider community of the challenges that the state faces with respect to public sector reform, in terms of public servants who seem to be wedded to the status quo and they don't want it to change. And the example he gave was that the cabinet took a decision and issued instructions to all ministries to label their vehicles with the insignia of the respective ministry. Because what was happening is that public servants were taking these unmarked vehicles and going home with it, going to the market, to the grocery, to the beach, dropping the children to school, and using the state's asset as if it was their own, using the fleet cards to fill up the vehicles with fuel that was being paid for with taxpayers' money, with the citizens' money, and it was an abuse. And the Prime Minister, as he indicated, his cabinet sought to put an end to that. And I remember him saying, Madam Speaker, despite the fact that the Cabinet of Trinidad and Tobago issued a directive, you would not believe the level of pushback that we get in. And he said, Madam Speaker, there are persons in the public service, senior persons, who have been charged with the responsibility to execute and to carry out that instruction. And they are dragging their feet deliberately, hoping that the election will come and the PNM would lose. And because that was a PNM directive, that if a new party comes into power, that directive will just fall by the wayside and the things will continue and persons will continue to abuse state assets and to use the vehicles as they like. He said all kind of things, delays, you name it, all kind of tactics are being employed to avoid implementing that instruction simply because it benefits certain people and they wish to see it continue. And if in simple things like that public servants could disregard an instruction from the Cabinet of Trinidad and Tobago, the duly appointed government of Trinidad and Tobago, for something so simple, what about the bigger issues? What about the bigger issues? Well, for those of us who may not be inclined to read the Auditor General's report, perhaps because, there are some among us who, as I always say, are intellectually lazy, then there are those who may not have access, for whatever reason. Let me give you let's interrogate that Auditor General's report today. And just some of it. I just want to give you an idea. You see, because this issue, with respect to the zipline matter, is just one of several issues identified by the Auditor General. And it's nothing new. It's not something that happened in 2016, 2015, 2014. It's an ongoing thing that the Auditor General every year has to keep complaining about. And essentially the Auditor General's report is a litany of woes uncovered by the Auditor General's department as they go from ministry to ministry to conduct their audits. And it's unfortunate that Mr. Augustine and Mr. Duke and others sought to pull out this one issue from a wider document of issues to try and score political points off of it and not talk about the other issues which impacts directly the organization led by Watson Duke. So to borrow a line from Fitzgerald Hines, when he was responding to Rudal Munilal back in 2017, I think it was, during his budget presentation where he made the allegations against Dr. Rowley. And when Munilal was finished, Mr. Hines got up and he said, Madam Speaker, the member for Oropuch East, in typical fashion, give us 10% of the thing and chinks in with the rest. chinks in with the rest, and that's what they did. They give us a little thing. They went into the Auditor General's report, and you pull out something, and they say, right, we're going to use that. Don't catch them with that. And everything else you turn a blind eye to, some which to my mind should calls for far greater concern. I'm not saying that this matter doesn't call for concern, not necessarily from a corruption standpoint, but it shows or it speaks to the inefficiencies that exist in the public service. So let's get to it, right? No, and I'm seeing the ads coming up here again. So let me just give you an idea what this report says as to what is the function of the Auditor General. We'll start there, and then we will go into some of the issues. And let me tell you, this makes a very interesting reading. It says the Auditor General's mandate for the audit of public accounts and the right of access to all documents, as well as the independence of the office, are enshrined in the Constitution of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago as follows. The public accounts of Trinidad and Tobago and of all officers, courts, and authorities of Trinidad and Tobago shall be audited and reported on annually by the Auditor General, and for that purpose, the Auditor General or any person authorized by him in that behalf shall have access to all books, records, returns, and other documents relating to those accounts. In the exercise of his functions under the Constitution, the Auditor General shall not be subject to the direction or control of any other person or authority. So in other words, the Auditor General is supposed to be completely independent and does not take direction from the cabinet or from any other government or state entity. Right. So let me see here. Where is it? The Auditor General's responsibility is to express an opinion on these financial statements based on the audit and to report thereon in accordance with Section 116(2) and 4 of the Constitution. The examination conducted in accordance with auditing standards which require the ethical requirements be complied with, and that the audit be planned and performed to obtain reasonable assurance about whether the financial statements are free from material misstatement. An audit involves performing procedures to obtain audit evidence about the amounts and disclosure in the financial statements. These procedures selected depend on the auditor's judgment, including the assessment of the risks of material misstatement of financial statements, whether due to fraud or error. In making those risk assessments, the auditor considers internal control relevant to the entity's preparation and fair presentation of the financial statements in order to design audit procedures that are appropriate in the circumstances, but not for the purpose of expressing an opinion on the effectiveness of the entity's internal control. An audit also includes evaluating the overall presentation of the financial statements in accordance with financial directives. And the Auditor General says, it is my view that the audit evidence obtained is sufficient and appropriate to provide a basis for the opinion expressed at paragraph 6 of this report. So nowhere does it say that the Auditor General makes any allegations with respect to corruption. The ads are upon us. We will be right back. We'll continue.
If it's one thing I want, it's for the government.
catchy song now.
Now we mash up the place and give the people what them want. So when the big truck come down and the people in tongue, it's like the first time I play in mass. So don't focus on what he say, don't focus on what she say. Just keep focus on Iwer. Yes, soon what KMC say. When Iwer said to jump up, when Iwer said to wave up, KMC said to jump up and wave up and jump up and wave up. Let's mash up the place. One more time, come on, mash up the place. I shall love the place, place. If I had one wish, let's mash up the place. One more time, come on, mash up the place. I it's what I'm the place, I'm what I'm the place. I want to live. Move to the left, move to the left, move to the left, move down, move to the right, move to the right, move to the right, move down, run to the back, run to the back, run to the back, run down, come to the front line.
Can't stop the mass. It's Dutch. Yo, the system. Hot man like to party too. Play more so coffee them. Uptown big so party too. Play more so coffee them. If you feel like you can't get through, rum and so coffee them. All who vex and who hate you, play more so coffee them. And away we go. Time to kick off the greatest show. Say anywhere we go. Candles wine on the thing like whoa. Could be rain or snow. That could never stop what we do. DJ pull it up again for me and my friends. We going down till the end. We going all day. Jack power them calling way. We going all day. 24 hours in one day. We going all day. Jack power them calling way. We going all day. 24 hours in one day. So when we touch down, 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 down in the zest, hot gal bubble like them possess. So when we touch down, 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 down in the vibe, take jam, gal, no candlelight. When we touch down, 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 down in the street, gal plus rum, everything complete. When we touch down, 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 down in the bars, them gal, them shaking their heart. On the beats love to party too. People so coffee them. Big up South and the Central crew. People so coffee them. Downtown with the action brew. Rum and so coffee them. West side, east side, everything good. Soca, we just defend. We going all day. Jack power them calling way. We going all day. 24 hours in one day. We going all day. Jack power them calling way. We going all day. 24 hours in one day. So when we touch down, 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 down in the zest, hot gal bubble like them possess. So when we touch down, 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 down in the vibe, take jam, gal, no candlelight. When we touch down, 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 down in the streets, gal plus rum, everything complete. When we touch down, 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 down in the bars, them gal, them shaking their heart. And away we go. Time to kick off the greatest show. Say anywhere we go. Gal does wine pon the thing like whoa. Could be rain or snow. That could never stop what we do. DJ pull it up again for me and my friends. We going down till the end. We going all day. Jack power them calling way. We going all day. 24 hours in one day. We going all day. Jack power them calling way. We going all day. 24 hours in one day. So when we touch down, 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 down in the zest, hot gal bubble like them possess. So when we touch down, 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 down in the vibe, take jam, gal, no candlelight. When we touch down, 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 down in the streets, gal plus rum, everything complete. When we touch down, 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 down in the bars, them gal, them shaking their heart.
Soca Prison, the movie, coming soon to cinemas near you. January 13, starring Neil Iwer George, KMC, Farmer Nappy, Lil Bits, Colonel Roberts, Doggy Slaughter, Swappy, Kevin DaCosta, Jade Campbell, Trinidad Killer, Jojo, Big Mike, Mr. Grill, Andrew Jeffers. Shiggy, Andrew Bailey. Rome, Oliver Blue. Marlon Duncan, Health, and many soca stars of Trinidad and Tobago. Coming soon to cinemas near you. Soca Prison, all COVID-19 protocols observed. Streaming now on www.socaflix.com. Caribbean Cinemas and IMAX TT, January 13.
The Gospel of the Kingdom radio program with Gilbert James is now on the Street 919 FM every second, third, and fourth Thursday from 8 to 9 p.m. and every first and third Sunday from 12 a.m. to 5 a.m. Monday. The Bible says, the Gospel of the Kingdom shall be preached in all the world as a witness to all nations, and then the end shall come. For more info, call 652-0924 or 298-4540 and join us every second, third, and fourth Thursday from 8 to 9 p.m. and every first and third Sunday from 12 a.m. to 5 a.m. Monday for the Gospel of the Kingdom radio program with Gilbert James.
Renting a car in Tobago should be quick, affordable, and easy.
Wow.
Here at Oni Rentals, we make the process as simple as possible by using our easy e-sign-up. Yep, we can sign you up from just about anywhere using our tablets. See? All done. And everything goes straight into the cloud. Yeah, you're on your way. Are you coming to Tobago? Book your car rental with us and enjoy the most affordable rates in Tobago. But hurry, because cars go pretty fast. Call 361-1042. That's 361-1042. One more time, 361-1042. O'Neill Auto Rentals, Tobago, taking you further.
Join Bishop Aaron and the Divine Problem-Solving International Ministries together with ministers and choirs from Ghana, the Republic of the Congo, the Republic of Uganda, the United States, London, and from right here in Trinidad and Tobago on February 6th and February 27th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. here on the Street 919 FM. For a closer look at spiritual principles of the Acts of the Apostles and a renaissance of your own faith in Jesus Christ. Bishop Aaron and the Divine Problem-Solving International Ministries on February 6th and February 27th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. here on the Street 919 FM.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying locked to the Street 919 FM. Remember, you can join us on the various social media platforms of Facebook, those of you who have Facebook accounts, or you can join us on YouTube, Iwer TV. Right, so let me just give, just one sec. Right, so let me just give a little background to this contentious issues concerning this whole zipline matter. And I'm reading here from an article in the Newsday. It's quoting Mr. Fali Augustine, who would have raised this issue based on him interrogating the Auditor General's report. A service agreement that was dated the 12th of June 2015 showed that the Division of Tourism and Transportation contracted with a British Virgin Islands corporation located at Tortola to design and develop and construct a high-angle canopy tour course at the main ridge at an initial beginning cost of US $531,610. The Executive Council's approval for this project was not available for audit. So in other words, according to Mr. Augustine, they can't even find the document that showed that the Executive Council approved this expenditure. He added, the sum of TT 2.5 million was paid to the corporation up to the 30th of September 2016, and that was for materials and equipment. However, the existence of these assets was not verified. A visit to the stores section of the division revealed only some ropes on hand. Imagine that. We spent 2.5 million and the only thing the Auditor General could find was some rope. Now that must be the most expensive piece of rope in the world, but I want Tobagonians to take this same expensive piece of rope and hang them politically come January 25th. He recalled that the last time an update was requested on the zip line, it was revealed that 85% of the material and equipment was in Tobago. This response piqued Mr. Augustine's interest, and he revealed that he investigated the issue himself. He claimed that the Tourism Division was taking the material and storing it in a company in Miami. This is Mr. Augustine saying this. When I went and checked out that storage company, the last thing I found out is that the storage company went bankrupt and eventually closed down. What that means is that if our equipment was still being stored in Miami, it means that every piece of equipment that was in that storage, racking up hundreds of thousands of dollars in storage fees, would now be subject to auction anywhere within that state. So, we might be looking for a zip line in our rainforest, but we will never get as much as a piece of nylon string running through the rainforest, because the woman who wants to lead Tobago has mismanaged this project. If we are to transform Tobago, we must put an end to this kind of mismanagement of Tobago resources. Let me just repeat that last line. If we are to transform Tobago, we must put an end to this kind of mismanagement of resources. So, you see, the allegation he's making there is one of mismanagement of resources. Let's talk about mismanagement of resources, right? Let me share with you all a little bit from this great Auditor General's report. And I would strongly recommend that folks try and make the time and go on and do some reading, and you will see some of the stuff that is in there. Right. Let me get this right here. Just give me 1 sec. But interestingly, while Mr. Augustine and his political leader may be seeking to try and nail this issue to Ms. Davidson Celestin, who at the time when the project was initiated would have been, I think, the Secretary for Tourism, so it would have fallen under her department. When $10 million went missing from the bank account, the National Energy Corporation's bank account, which was held at the First Citizens Bank while the PP was in office, and I think this took place sometime around 2011, and the population didn't find out about it until sometime in 2015, when somebody sought to send some information to Dr. Rowley, put something in his mailbox, and he drew it to the attention of the public. And it was only then that the then Minister of Finance, Larry Hawaii, and I think the Minister of Energy, Kevin Ramnarine, made a statement on the issue. But if Dr. Rowley had not been presented with that information, more than likely the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago would not have known that $10 million from a state company just went missing, as we recall, through a wire transfer that claimed that it was for hot dog and ketchup going to Guyana. Interestingly, at the time when that took place, the man at the helm of both institutions, the NEC and the First Citizens Bank, would later go on to become the country's Minister of Finance, Larry Hawaii, who, as you would recall, received just over $11 million in compensation, or as an incentive for him to give up his job as the CEO of First Citizens Bank to become the Minister of Finance under the People's Partnership Administration. $11 million. I have never heard of any other time in this country's history that you had to pay somebody to become a government minister. Most times people are falling over themselves just to be in the Senate, or just to smell the corridors of power in this country, right? They consider it a signal honor. But you had to pay this man $11 million for him to become the Minister of Finance, and then after becoming Minister of Finance, he continued to earn a salary, probably in the vicinity of about $60,000 a month. Right? Yes. Unheard of. But did you hear anybody saying, or rather, do you recall that the UNC was saying, well, never mind the fact that Mr. Hawaii was at the head of the NEC and First Citizens when all of that went down? Yeah. Don't put any blame on him. He has no culpability in the matter whatsoever. Of course, it's the people who work under him are the ones who we must speak to. Fine, I agree with that. But in the same vein, now you hear Watson Duke is chastising Tracy Davidson Celestin when she's saying that we need to look to the public servants whose job it would have been to ensure the execution of the project. But that's all right. That's all right. So let me see here. What's the first page I have? Page 30. Right. Under the heading Individual Areas of Concern, the audit findings recorded in this section focus on individual heads of expenditure and the related allocations approved by Parliament in respect of the financial year 2016. First heading, Judiciary. Expenditure Control. Contracts pertaining to 5 service providers totaling $1,128,252.72 were not provided for audit examination. Now remember, in what I just read there for you, the issue raised by Mr. Augustine was that the Executive Council approval for the project, the documentation couldn't be found, right? And he says that's a big red flag. But here it is, according to the Auditor General's report, the same report that Mr. Augustine refers to, and they only chose to single out that one issue. And as he says, in order to fix Tobago, you need to be able to treat with issues such as this. But we will focus on that one only, and not all of the others, which speaks to a need to reform the entire public service of Trinidad and Tobago, right? So the first one I just read for you. Contracts pertaining to 5 service providers totaling $1.128 million were not provided for audit examination. It goes on. A vehicle logbook as required for control of motor vehicle custody and maintenance for one vehicle did not record the dates of each journey. This is in violation of the Ministry of Finance Circular number 16, dated November 20th, 1958. How long? 4 of the 6 vehicles maintained bore no evidence of the official logo for identification as state property. We go on. Industrial Court. Signed contracts were not produced for National Insurance Property Development Company Limited for management services at a cost of $85,250 per month. Signed contracts were not produced for National Maintenance Training and Security Company for security services at a cost of $444,257. So the Auditor General went to the Industrial Court to do their audit, requested to see these contracts, and it could not be located. Right. We go again. We now start. See here. Right. Central Administrative Services, Tobago. It says here, releases of $74,846,150 exceeded revised estimates of $74,446,000. Contracts of employment were not seen for 9 officers whose salaries for the year totaled $721,127. Contracts with the following service providers were not produced. Janitorial services, $199,760. Security for Lowlands property, $431,459. Security for Jerningham Street, $358,134.25. So again, the Auditor General requested to see these contracts to verify, and they could not be produced. And this happens for a number of reasons, but we'll get to that shortly. This is one to which I have often referred to, right? Personnel Department, that is the CPO's office. Total rent, $53,585,608.51 was paid during the period 10 December 2012 when the contract was initiated to 31st July 2016 for unoccupied premises on 12th Street, Barataria, which were reportedly waiting to be outfitted. This contravenes Financial Regulation 34, which places the responsibility on the accounting officer. Here who are? The accounting officer, to eliminate non-essential services and to ensure that the public funds are utilized to the best advantage. We're going again. Central Tenders Board. Contracts were not seen with respect to the engagement of 3 contractors for the provision of services valued at $1,501,014.26. Who is that? The Central Tenders Board. Contracts were not seen. Now remember, the Central Tenders Board is right now the entity, the institution that is responsible for, all government contracts, making sure that it is above board and so on. But here it is, that the Central Tenders Board, which is responsible for ensuring that all contracts are above board. Contracts were not seen with respect to the engagement of 3 contractors for the provision of services valued at $1.5 million. Central Tenders Board. You have responsibility for government contracts to deal with, and you could not produce contracts that your department undertook. But the up in arms about the Office of the Procurement Regulator and proper procurement, right? And Yes, that is the silver bullet, the be-all and end-all for proper procurement. But right now, the institution that is responsible to ensure that proper procurement themselves have issues with producing contracts to show proper procurement. We continue. Inland Revenue Division, 9 vouchers totaling $1,182,469.50 were authorized by the chairman in excess of the limit of $25,000. This was a contravention of Financial Regulation 8, which requires that no payment is made which is not covered by proper authority. We continue. Yes, there's quite a few I have to read. Let me see here. Going on, huh? Page 41. Let's go. Page 41. Bear with me there. We have quite a few. Where's page 41? Right. Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. Documents not produced. Supporting documents were not attached to the payment vouchers for 8 projects totaling $38,947,021.42. 2. The contract agreements of 5 service providers with respect to repairs and servicing of police vehicles at a total cost of $564,882 were not produced. Contract agreements of 15 service providers with respect to washing and polishing of vehicles at a total cost of $128,963 were not produced. Vouchers totaling $391,704 were not produced. With respect to fees, contract agreements for 2 service providers whose services total $369,000 were not produced. Contract agreements for 6 service providers under other contracted services totaling $1.16 million not produced. A contract for air conditioning works valued at $393,750 for the Homicide Bureau of Investigation in Aruca was not produced. With respect to the development program, contract agreements for several contractors works carried out on 4 projects at a total cost of $10,388,133.59 not produced. So here it is that contracts are being issued. This is the police service. The Auditor General is saying we requested these documents so that we could make sure everything is above board, that everything is on the up and up. And none of these documents were produced for scrutiny by the Office of the Auditor General when the request was made of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. You hear Fali talk about that? You hear Kamla talk about that? Munilal? Watson? Of course not. They're only interested in one. The ads are upon us again. Stay locked. We'll be right back.
When I think about my journey and how much I've achieved, I can't help but feel grateful. I have the best family, the best friends, the best fans in the world. That's a fact. And people always asking, how you always smiling so? And I tell them the same thing each and every time. I don't take anything for granted. And I am always counting my blessings. I keep counting my blessings and blessings and blessings. Blessings and blessings and blessings. I still hold my head high, 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 high. Counting my blessings, blessings, yeah. Jah, you bless me, no one could take this away. Na 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 na, give me the world of fame. I'm still the same that is. Right now the world could change. I'm still the same that is. waiting on we in private. So rock so with your bad vibes, rock so with your screw face, rock so with your free nights. Go we know what that's the wrong way. Rock so with your bad vibes, rock so with your screw face, rock so with your free nights. Go we know what that's the wrong way. I used to hold my head high, high, high. Counting my blessings, blessings, yeah. Treasure you bless me, no one could take this away. Na 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 na. Blessings on blessings on blessings, double up. Blessings on blessings on blessings, double up. Blessings on blessings on blessings, double up. Blessings on blessings on blessings, blessings on blessings on blessings, blessings on blessings on blessings, yeah yeah yeah. Blessings on blessings, blessings on blessings on blessings, blessings. What's up?
Hey guys, it's Aisha Wells here. Listen up. If you're considering selling or renting your house in Trinidad and Tobago, then call Keelan George with O'Neill's Real Estate Group. He's a good friend of mine and he's been in the business for over 6 years. First, selling real estate in Atlanta, Georgia, and now right here in Trinidad and Tobago. He has a strategic online marketing presence that actually attracts thousands of home buyers and renters. Plus, with his home selling advice and techniques, he's getting homes sold really fast. Keelan will actually guarantee you sell your home, or get this, you can cancel the listing agreement and pay nothing at any time. That's right, you heard me, nothing at any time. Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful, people. Check out www.o'neillrealestatetT.com. O'Neill is spelled O-N-E-I-L, or just call Keelan direct at 363-4030. That's 363-4030.
Johnny Q Auto Parts Division says it's an assault on battery prices. Master, Optima, Vanta, and Megastar. Starting from $488. Yes, $488. For cars, trucks, and boats. Backed by Massey Automotive. And only available at Tobago Color Shop. Suppliers of paint, plumbing, and hardware materials. Old Farm Road, Shore Park, Tobago. Open Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Call 725-5873 or 474-2456. And in Trinidad at Johnny Q, 15 R. Peter Avenue, Woodbrook. Remember, batteries from $488.
On January 25th, put your X by the ballot and vote for the PNM in the local government by-election. For Arima Central, Dr. Juliet Hillary Bernard. For Canupia, Rashid Ali. For Hindustan St. Mary's, Martina Lubon Lejar. For Hollywood, Leslie Shang Fong. And for Montcoco Alice Glenn, Janelle Schuler Smart. All our PNM candidates are committed to serving their communities with excellence. On January 25th, vote for excellence. Vote for the right choice. Vote for the PNM. Great is the PNM, and we shall prevail.
Voice PNM all the way on election day. It's the right choice at the right time. Hands in the air for the police. Hey.
Turn your lights down low and listen to the Master's Radio.
The Church of the Firstborn Assembly Miracle Center of 399 Eastern Main Road, Guayco in Sangre Grande is pleased to present Pastor Morris and Agnes Johnson and guests on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays here on the Street 919 FM. The Ministry of Worship Children's Hour and the Word is on Sundays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. On Tuesdays from 9 p.m. to midnight, see Jesus in every book of the Bible from Genesis to Revelation. And on Wednesdays from 9 p.m. to midnight, where we deal with current affairs from a biblical perspective. Tell your neighbors, tell your friends, tell everyone. For further information, visit us at www.churchofthefirstbornassembly.org or find us on Facebook. Email us at church668hope@gmail.com or call us at 753-1113 or 236-7271. Your free will gifts and offerings will be greatly appreciated. First Citizens Bank account number 795222.
Listen for the call. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on.
Soca Prison, the movie, coming soon to cinemas near you. January 13, starring Neil Iwer George, KMC, Farmer Nappy, Lil Bits, Colonel Roberts, Doggy Slaughter, Swappy, Kevin DaCosta, Jade Campbell, Trinidad Killer, Jojo, Big Mike, Mr. Grill, Andrew Jeffers, Shiggy, Andrew Bailey, Rome, Oliver Blue, Marlon Duncan, Health, and many soca stars of Trinidad and Tobago. Coming soon to cinemas near you. Soca Prison, all COVID-19 protocols observed. Streaming now on www.socaflix.com. Caribbean Cinemas and IMAX TT, January 13.
Royal Castle happily presents our New Year giveaway. When you buy a family meal, you could be in to win some happiness. A kitchen appliance combo of a new stove, fridge, and microwave. Whoa! A living room set, a washer-dryer combo, or a dining room set. Other goodies include Samsung Smart TVs, grocery vouchers, or one of 20 tablets. Just write your info on your bill and slip it into the entry box in store. It's easy to win with our New Year giveaway.
Yo, this is a Big Mike, not the mass man, the health man. Are you one of the 40 million people suffering with joint issues like rheumatoid arthritis or osteoarthritis? Well, you are listening to the right ad. You have the ailment, we have the remedy. Call us now on 288-8301 or 346-2612.
Don't forget to tune in right here on the street 919 FM every Wednesday from 10:05 a.m.
Performance, beat all talk.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iwer George on Instagram. Share the live. Iwer TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Welcome back, and we continue. Under the Ministry of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries, for those of you who may be just joining us, we are going through the Auditor General's report of 2016. But some of the issues that we would be encountering, as stated herein by the Auditor General, are perennial issues that would have existed for a number of years and that can only be addressed through public sector reform. But we know that there are certain people who are opposed to public sector reform. Why? Because the status quo benefits them. So, under Ministry of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries, surveys conducted for the period June 2016 to August 2016 at 8 outstations revealed the following contravention of financial directives. Vehicle registers were not maintained at 3 outstations. Vehicle logbooks were either not seen or not maintained. Inspection certificates were either not seen or updated. Ministry's logos were not seen on some vehicles. Certified copies were not produced for some vehicles. Security personnel was not hired for the safeguarding of 24 vehicles at a farm. Right. This one for me is a kicker, right? Under minor equipment purchases, here is one. An attempt was made to physically verify 70 pistols costing $322,000 that was purchased by the Ministry of Agriculture in 2014. 2014, under the PP. For the Pradia Larceny Squad, it was revealed that the ministry, up to 2016, at the time the audit was done, had not received any pistols. The circumstances of its importation are under investigation, and it should be noted that payment was made in advance for the items contrary to Financial Regulation number 71F. 70 pistols purchased in 2014, so they say. $322,000 paid. 2 years later, Not one pistol received. But they ain't gonna talk about that. Nope. We go again. Let me see what else I have here. Page. Right. 44. The next one. Right. It's a lot to read, people. A lot. So I'm not going to go through all, but just some that I highlighted. Page 52. This is what? Revenue control. Right. This is another one that jumped out at me. Ministry of Energy and Energy Industries. As reported in the previous 3 years, no evidence was seen that oil and gas production data received from companies and used in the calculation of revenue collectible was verified by the ministry. The response from the ministry stated that verification of oil and gas data is undertaken by ensuring the witnessing and testing of calibration of meters at fiscalization points and witnessing of meters at loading of crude at ports. And the following were noted. There was no collaboration between the measurement unit and the contract management unit. A log is not maintained to reflect the queries raised by the contract management unit with the operations and the resolutions made. The measurement unit, hear this, the measurement unit is constrained by a shortage of manpower and a lack of measurement training. As a result, 75% of planned activities was not done. Also, as a result, the accuracy of revenue from royalties and share of profits from oil companies could not be assessed. At the time of the audit in January 2017, royalties from 11 oil companies as at the 30th of September 2016 were outstanding. Quarterly and annual reconciliation of royalties due and received were not produced for 9 of the 11 oil companies, and these are required by the Petroleum Regulations, Chapter 6201. Now, the part here that really struck me is this. The measurement unit is constrained by a shortage of manpower and a lack of measurement training. Do you know why that jumped out at me? You all remember AV drilling, right? Do you remember that? The AV drilling matter and the 100 million? Here it is that the Auditor General is telling us that the department that is responsible for measuring when the oil comes in to make sure that what is received is what is supposed to be received and what is being paid for, has a shortage of manpower and a lack of measurement training. So that tells me that it is very possible that the oil received may have very well been received, but because of lack of measurement training, well, you put 2 and 2 together. I just say it. This is a state oil company, eh? But when the Prime Minister tells us why they needed to restructure Petrotrin, oh gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Petrotrin was doing so well. All our money making, and they were a profitable entity. But the Auditor General is telling us in 2016, before they were closed, measurement unit constrained by shortage of manpower, lack of measurement training. A log is not maintained to reflect the queries raised by the contract management unit with the operations and resolutions made. No collaboration between the measurement unit and the contract management unit. What's Ning going to talk about that? Ning going to hear Roger talk about that neither. Okay. But they want to have a big march throughout from San Fernando to Port of Spain to protest the government. And? Okay. We continue. Let me see here. Page 53. What we have on page 53? Just now. Page 54. Secretary. Right. This one also concerned me. Chairman of the Board of Inland Revenue, Ministry of Finance. The Inland Revenue Division could not provide assurances that amounts received from the following collectors of revenue was accurate. Tax on transfer of used motor vehicles, cinematograph arrangement fee, warden search fees, and pension plan registration fee. The Board of Inland Revenue is telling the Auditor General's Department, well, you know, the revenue that we receive from these people, we can't really say if it's accurate or not. So we don't know if somebody put their hand in the kitty and take a little bit. We have no way of verifying that. And this is the entity that is responsible for managing and ensuring that proper collection of government's revenues. Really? But when the administration says we need the revenue authority so that we can have all of the state's revenue collection entities under one umbrella, under one roof, instead of what obtains now, where you have all these different entities located all over the place, and it makes it a little more difficult to ensure the accuracy of monies received and monies that is to be received. The opposition says, no need for that. We just need to improve the operations of the Board of Inland Revenue and leave it as it is. So the Warden Office by so, Customs by so, and whoever else is responsible for collecting revenue on behalf of the government, leave it as it is. And let everybody collect and then send to the Board of Inland Revenue, who is telling us, well, we can't verify that what we receive is correct. Well, if you all can't do it, who could do it? You see how easy it is for bubble to take place? And this is something that has been taking place for years. This is not new. And attempts by this administration to fix it, well, not just this administration, because the issue of the Revenue Authority would have started under Patrick Manning. And there was no end of pushback, because you remember the now head of the PSA, then head of the PSA, Watson Duke, strongly opposed it on the basis that he said, well, if you form the Revenue Authority, it's going to reduce the need for the amount of employees, and people are going to get sent home and all of that. So we are opposing that. So let's just focus on that aspect of it only. But in terms of improving the revenue collection and the accuracy of revenue collection, man, to hell with that. Why? Because we have money. We can afford it, man. Hey, don't interfere with the status quo. Right. We continue. Page 55. Right. Transport Commissioner, Ministry of Works and Transport. This is what we call licensing office. Let's go. Several constraints were encountered in an attempt to verify the accuracy of figures reflected on the statement of receipts and disbursements, as the revenue records were not properly maintained as required by Financial Regulation 55. Details are as follows. Machine-generated receipts issued were faded and illegible in some cases. Cash transactions were recorded on numerous loose pages which were not filed in chronological sequence. They were strewn all over at various locations within the office, wherever space could be found, such as under counters and in the storage room. Monthly cumulative totals were not recorded in the cash book for each of the 43 items of revenue. A difference of $15,600,000 was noted between total revenue on the Treasury card of $138,816,936 and the statement of receipts and disbursements of $123,216,045. Reconciliations with Treasury records were not done as required by paragraph 3 of the Controller of Accounts Circular number 9 dated August 4th, 2016. Difference of $15 million between what was reported and what was disbursed. Okay. 15 million. We're not going to talk about that, right? No, we will only focus on the zip line. 2.5. All right. No problem. We're going again. Page, what's the other page I have here? Right. In 2016, the state paid $480 million in rent. $480 million to rent premises to house government ministries, government departments. Almost $500 million in rent. And who are the owners of most of these properties? In the words of Peter Minshall, ask a silly question. We know. Because for the couple years ago, every Monday night forum, Kamla Prasad Bisessa was mounting platform after platform to tell us who owned this building and who owned that building. Remember, she told us she had a dossier of about 150 buildings that were owned by the clan, as she called them. And on another night, I will tell you more about this dossier and all the buildings that the clan owns and so on. We never heard anything further. That was the first and last time we heard about that dossier. But from 2010 to 2015, government campus was empty. All it needed was to be outfitted. And government ministries, government departments could have moved out of the private premises that was being rented, move into there, as was done when this administration came in 2015, and significantly reduced that $480 million. Today, I believe that figure has come down significantly by more than about $140 million that is being saved annually in rent. But they tell you, oh, the PNM is for the 1%. PNM only doing thing for the 1%. And? But just by operationalizing government campus alone, the government would have taken millions of dollars out of the pockets of the same so-called 1% landlords that Kamala loves to tell us about. The same landlords whose leases she continued to renew from 2010 to 2015 while they left government campus unoccupied. But they bumped the gum about Kuva Children's Hospital. PNM only want to leave that closed because we built it. But the members of the UNC literati seem to forget government campus. How much rental money did we have to pay because the Kuva Hospital was closed? None. How many millions did we have to pay in rent because they chose to leave government campus unoccupied? If you read this Auditor General's report, there are numerous instances of leases that were taken out between 2010 and 2015 for several properties to house government ministries, government departments that were never occupied. Millions of dollars spent in rent. I just gave you all one, the one in Barataria for the 53 million. But there was one on Pembroke Street, 9 million, one on Frederick Street, 5.2 million. Millions! And the favorite number. Except if it's legal fees, then we're talking billions, right? But millions of dollars spent. Renting office space, never outfitted, never used, money spent for security. Hey, what was the problem? Remember, they received the highest energy revenues in this country's history. But according to the Auditor General's report, $480 million was spent in 2016, and these were leases that would have been inherited by this administration. And contracts could not be found. Lease agreements could not be found for a lot of these properties. Sometimes the rental period or the lease period would have expired and still no leases signed, but money paying. And money paying by the millions. And as the Auditor General pointed out, that was a serious breach because it means that at the end of the rental period or the lease period, some of these things, these rentals would just continue to go on and on, well past the original period. But it placed the state in a position where the landlord could now come and say, well, here, what now? Yeah, I know we agreed to. Or rather, well, how much is it? 100,000 a month? 500,000 a month? Well, we have no document for that, So it was really supposed to be $800,000 a month. How are you defending that? How are you defending that? You have no written agreements. 3 years later, no signed lease, no signed contract. What's Sning going to talk about that? No, he's not interested in that. He's only interested in zipline. $480 million a year to rent properties. We're going again. Tobago House of Assembly. Contracts were not produced to support payments to service providers for the following. Transport $605,649. Special projects $1,465,083. A permanent public officer employed with the Division of Infrastructure and Public Utilities supplied transport services to the division in contravention of Regulation 16.1. Bank reconciliations were not prepared on a regular and timely basis. Further, the list of unpaid checks was incomplete in that some checks were omitted. In addition, the cash book figure differed from the corresponding figure in bank reconciliation statement by 92,000 and so on. Let's see here. There was something else. I have a whole list of pages here. Well, as I said, it's a lot of information, and in the interest of time, because I see we're moving on to 11:30 and the ad's going to come up again just now. But y'all could go and read it for yourself. You're interested in any year, and I would strongly suggest you read from 2010 to 2015. Especially the part that intrigues me the most is when I see, when, for instance, I pull up the Auditor General's report for 2010, and I see what was the balance in the Exchequer's account. And then I pull up the one for 2015 and I see what was the balance in the Exchequer's account. And I see where, when the People's Partnership came in June of 2010, that the amount of money that was in that account, in credit, and then they left it at $33 billion in deficit, despite the fact that they had the highest energy revenues in this country's history. And I can't understand for the life of me, if you were drawing all of this significant revenues, why you needed to overdraw the Exchequer account, which is the account that holds the funds for the consolidated fund, by so much money, which is essentially a debt. But you were receiving billions of dollars, highest energy revenues. And where you spend it on? Now you want to tell us, well, we did more for Tobago than the PNM ever did. Yeah, you ran down the 2 ferries that the PNM bought, right? And you gave them the Superfast Galicia, which I will discuss perhaps next week as we talk about UNC procurement, UNC style, which is what I really wanted to talk about today. And talk about deficiencies. Since Madam knows about deficiencies with ferries, she could identify 6 deficiencies with the APT James. But when it says deficiencies were drawn to their attention and her cabinet's attention with respect to the Superfast Galicia long before it came here, she didn't know the meaning of deficiencies then. But today, she knows what a deficiency is. We're going to talk about that next week. No problem. Don't worry about that. But that, you see, people in Tobago know what is all they're doing. We maintain. You all heard Ramona say it. Where is Watson Duke? Right? And now they're trying to make this a race thing. David Lee said it. We're not contesting Tobago. Watson Duke is there. What does that mean? Is Watson Duke and the PDP the UNC proxy in Tobago? I just asking. I don't know. It appears that way. I saw he doing some live, some videos there in Roxborough, some paving taking place, and he admits the roads are very nice. Very, very nice roads. And he says that, they're just doing that to damage him. All of a sudden, the PNM paving and whatnot. The people happy with the roads. But we need to remember, it's 4 years. So whether they do it in the first year or the last year, they were given 4 years to do the work. Tobago people know what it is all you're doing. All right? The man is not a man of his word. And if it is you all, give them the majority, Farley will learn that the hard way. Oh yes, he will learn that the hard way, because I'm sure we will come and hear a story about, well, you had a discussion with Farley and he doesn't think that he's ready for that role, and we felt that anyway, we don't need to go down that road. Just normal. Do I have time for this, boy? I will leave this for next week. In the interest of time, I will leave that for next week. But I felt the need to highlight for you all. As I said, we don't have time for me to go through the entire litany. You all could go and read it for yourself and see the issues that are contained in the Auditor General's report. And if you read, just choose any year and you continue to go back, and you will see the perennial problems that are faced by successive administrations. Perennial problems. That speaks to the issue of a deficient and a dysfunctional public service. But what's not interested in that? But your second vice president earning $29,000 a month? How much your first vice president making? How much you making? Clearly, this speaks to the fact that the public service not getting value for money from you. And rather than you seeing this as an opportunity to promote the conversation with respect to public sector reform, the much needed public sector reform, no, you want to create a picture of a corrupt Tracy Davidson Celestin. When your deputy saying something else and you want to say something and you are just not in sync. But Tobagonians are not stupid people. I would dare say that in some cases they are a lot brighter than Trini people. Because we saw for the general election, yeah, you fix my roof, thank you, but I'm still voting for the PNM. So we wait with bated breath, folks, to see what is going to happen on the 25th. Not just in Tobago, but in Trinidad as well. Because for some of you PNM supporters who would have sat on your laurels on the 10th of August and on the 2nd of December 2019 and say, well, nah, the PNM have it in the bag already, man. I don't need to go and vote. And you saw what happened. Lost Moruga. You all allowed them to get seats, local government seats in December of 2019 that they should not have gotten. Hence the reason you have what taken place now in Sangre Grande, where those greedy bastards who from 2013 to 2019 would have benefited from the generosity of Terry Rondon. Those UNC bastards who sit on the council and would have been given the opportunity to chair the committees so that they could get a little extra something in their pocket at the end of the month. 12 committees, 12 members of council. Terry say, hey, 12 of us, PNM, UNC, one each. And everybody could make a contribution because we all represent the constituency. And what did these wretches do when they came in? As I told you all the other day, created 3 new committees, take it to 15, and keep all for themselves. The UNC, 6 members of council, each of them get 2 apiece, and the chairman take 3. And then even say, well, let me give the PNM 1. Because, you know, for 6 years, they were fair and they gave us 1 each. Bastards. All 15 for themselves. Why? Because some people in Grande tell themselves that the PNM had it in the bag already, or you're vexed with the PNM for whatever reason and you decide you're not going to vote. And you allow them to do that. Well, let's see if you're going to miss this opportunity come the 25th. But the ads are upon us. Stay locked. When we come back, I'll open the lines because I see people calling and like they want to weigh in. So we'll be back.
Cause you are my everything, and I'm gonna do anything, but put that on everything, oh, for you. If I give you all my love, and would you treasure? Would you cherish it and never let me go? Cause you're not gonna find someone to love you better, oh. If I want to live for certain, I want you. Make I go love you, Jaja. Make I go love you, tender. Make I go love you, Jaja. Make I go love you, tender. Oh, tender. My love, they eternally. I love you for eternity. Oh, my love, they eternally. I love you for eternity. I'll swim the deepest ocean to show my devotion, yeah. You know, see me open like a window, my love. I go walla for you. You know, see me feel you. Baby, that body, they good, oh. Nah. If I give you all my love, would you treasure? Would you cherish it and never let me go? Cause you're not gonna find someone to love you better, oh. If I want to never certain, I want you. Make I go love you, Jaja. make I go love you tender, tender, oh, tender, oh. My love they eternally, eternally, eternally. I love you for eternity. Oh, my love they eternally, eternally, eternally. I love you for eternity. You give me plenty, plenty love. You give me plenty, plenty love. You give me plenty, plenty love. Plenty, plenty, my love. Plenty, my love.
Enagic change your water, change your life. Enagic water purifier, one machine, 5 types of water. Enagic makes strong Kangen water with an 11.5 pH. Kangen water with 8.5 to 9.5 pH, healthy drinking and cooking water. Clean water with 7.0 pH. Beauty water for skin, hair and plants with a 6.0 pH. Strong acid water with a 2.5 pH. This water is known to disinfect, kill viruses and bacteria. Listen to the Street 919 FM with Pastor Alkaline John every Tuesday from 11:05 a.m. to noon and every Wednesday from 8:05 p.m. to 9 p.m. as he talks to you weekly about how to improve your quality of life through purifying and drinking water. For more information, call or WhatsApp Pastor John at 516-286-7079.
Soka Prison, the movie, coming soon to cinemas near you. January 13, starring Neil Iwer George, AMC, Farmer Nappy, Lil Bits, Colonel Roberts, Doggy Slaughter, Swappy, Kevin DaCosta, Jay Campbell, Trinidad Killer, Jojo, Big Mike, Mr. Grill, Andrew Jeffers, Shiggy, Andrew Bailey, Rome, Oliver Blue, Marlon Duncan, Health, and many soca stars of Trinidad and Tobago. Coming soon to cinemas near you. Soca Prison, all COVID-19 protocols observed. Streaming now on www.socaflix.com. Caribbean Cinemas and IMAX TT, January 13.
At Health and Wealth Lifestyle, we offer a wide range of services: blood analysis, iridology, acupuncture, foot detox, foot massages, gua sha, hot stone therapy, fire therapy, legs and feet massage therapy, mineral scrubs, acrotherapy, cupping.
We also have a wide variety of supplements: silver, zinc and magnesium, body light, and lots more.
We at Health and Wealth Lifestyle operate our business in a clean, safe, and comfortable environment. We frequently sanitize our compound and abide by all the COVID guidelines that are currently in place.
So come on down to Health and Wealth Lifestyle, where we treat you like family. Book your appointment today. Call us at 1-868-275-8359
or 1-868-288-1108.
And remember, your health is your wealth, and prevention is always better than medication.
Hi there, I'm Lester Simplal, inviting you to join me on the first, second, and third Saturday, 8:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. for the program Slow Gospel Music, and on the fourth and fifth Saturday from 8:30 p.m. for an extended version of Slow Gospel Music on Street 91.9 FM.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iwer George on Instagram. Share the live. Iwer TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Welcome back to Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you for staying locked to the Street 919 FM. And please remember you can join us on Facebook and on YouTube, Iwer TV. We're not just radio to listen to, but radio you can watch. So the lines are open. You can call us. I mean, there's a lot more that I could talk about, but in the interest of time, I will open the lines early today so that you can have your say. Yes, so let's go. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah. Morning.
Morning. Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Morning,
These
sir.
young fly rocks who had to be stupid to vote for Duke. Huh? Duke, them, like these fellas, like them rock to young boys. All they do is thing to job with tea and they can't now sitting there saying, well, in Tobago. All they need Duke fool all there. Duke will put, that's why Duke put all monkey coconut shell. That was you want the rock for us to do. You know, boy, nothing. See, Auntie Father, all of them grew up in rock, yeah, we know how people grew up. You see what you do with the woman, what you do with the land, with tobacco. Yeah. People that you all learn. So then what's the rest? All our good prime minister from Tobago, all the prime minister in Tobago, the best parts you carried on. And when I have sense, as young people have no sense, but I have sense, man. Last time I was up there, I told her, I called her, I told her, I didn't like nobody. He come here, you and see there, come here, you ain't seen Tobago. None. Thank you.
Thank you, Kola. Hello, good afternoon. Oh, good morning, sorry.
Good morning to you, my brother.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Happy New Year to you.
And to you.
Thank you. And boy, Dominic, I was glad to hear you. I mean, I'll miss my mother.
Yes.
But I look forward to hear you on a Sunday.
Thank you.
But you know something, Dominic? As you raise this point with Tobago, our 2020 election, do you remember what was the UNC campaign for Tobago? Or Trinidad and Tobago? They were telling me they was privatizing WASA.
Yes.
And privatizing TSTT.
Correct.
And privatizing the post, TT Post. Do you remember what they was going to do with Tobago? Tobago was supposed to go on its own.
Yes.
So I don't understand now how Watson Duke and the people that supporting Watson, because we don't understand Watson Duke is not, what is the name of the party? That is a UNC. That is all they call the new virus. That is a variant
yes.
of the UNC. Right? So people in Tobago only remember the campaign that the UNC had for the general election for 2015. And the same people want to tell me about WASA today. Tobago would have been privatized too. Enjoy your morning, my brother.
Thank you, sir. Hello, good morning.
Dominic, good morning.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Well, Jordan, thank you. You see, once again, thank you. You see how we need people like you, Mr. Chance, to edify and educate the public. I hope that the people in Tobago listen with that information concerning that 2.5 million debacle. That, as far as I'm concerned, that should be swept under the carpet. That has been dealt with. And judging from the information I get, let me put it in parlance terms. It seems like certain people in the public service ain't doing their work. Certain people in the public service ain't doing their job at all. So I hire you to do a work for me, to do X, Y, and Z. So when you have inventory, right, Dominic, or you have things to account for, I expect you who work in the government or whether in private service, in a private company, to provide the documents for me. So basically some of these people, I don't know, it's either two things. Either some of these people ain't cut off for the job, or they withhold information deliberately to embarrass the authorities. That is how I see things now, because next time, so basically what I'm trying to say. So next time when you're applying for a job in the Service Commission, the first thing they have put in anything, are you PNM or UNC?
Yeah.
Or PDP, because apparently certain people ain't doing their work. And this was since 2016.
Yes.
Which means theoretically speaking, now Watson got a seat somewhere. He and Ipana got a seat in 2016, right?
Yes, 2017.
So technically speaking, this information is supposed to be out a long time.
That's correct. It was never an issue in 2017.
And they now got the courtesy of a political party in Trinidad. And this so-called political party, who is touted as the new DAC, they ran with that. So you mean to tell me what's in your candy panel and know about that information about 5 years ago? I like to believe that Tobagonians are smart people.
Right.
And they wouldn't follow by that nonsense. See, that explains everything. So which mean to say that certain people in the Central Tenders Board and other departments, something went awry. And somebody or some group of people ain't doing their work properly. But you know, we in some serious trouble, you know. And Mr. Dominic, check your Facebook page now. Some of these people are very disrespectful. See that so-called individual they call Nat Turner, whoever his name is. That is not. I don't know whether that's his real name. I think I need to flag him because he's very
I don't know what happened there. I'll do that. Hello, good morning.
Dominic, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good.
Dominic, whatever the PDP, you know, last time going into Charlottesville, you know what they did? They blocked the road. The truck that they bring up from Trinidad, they blocked the road and said breakdown. And everybody had to turn back and crash to the rainforest. Look what over there.
Wow.
Yeah. All right.
Good morning. Good morning, Dominic. Morning, Trinidad and Tobago. For the people of Tobago, good morning to you. And I hope you people looking and understanding and reading what is going through and what is taking place in Tobago and with the people trying to handle Tobago. From what I heard and what I could have seen and listened to, Tobago is going good and moving better under Dr. Rowley and under the Tobago House of Assembly. And I believe that nobody should come in between here who cannot account for monies that they move from one point and monies that they and account for you retire and you resign and you collect your gratuity already, but you're still there collecting. People who fire in people for having their own choice, want to have their own choice of voting for who they want to vote for, and always still have that man around. He should be hiding right now. He should be hiding right now. And other people who want to be in PNM and still be the head of a next party, they should be hiding. They should be ashamed. All the Tobagonians, Mano saying, vote for the House of Assembly people who's there right now, and call that judge. Good morning, people of Trinidad. Good morning, girlfriend. Good morning to everybody. Mammy Sauce. Good morning to Olga. Good morning to Sourman. Good morning to 1285. Miss Gloria. Miss Tunapuna. Good morning to everybody. All who ain't called Miss Friday. Good morning to everybody. So all who didn't call earlier, forget name quick, you know. So have a nice day, Dominic. How about Dane, boy? I ain't here for a long time.
Don't worry. One of these days you'll come in the studio, man.
All right, that'll be good. That'll be good. That'll be a light shining in a dark area. Thank you.
Yes, man.
All right, brother. Thanks.
Hello, good afternoon, or good morning, rather.
Good morning to you, Dominic.
Hi, morning.
Good morning to Trinidad and Tobago, all the trusting and obeying people. Blessed morning to everyone. Dominic, I heard something last night on TV6 News. These things don't make me don't even want to listen to news or even buy papers. There is something that is going on the television concerning the finance minister.
Yes.
With some money and whatnot. You know, last night I hear they apologizing and saying that is an error, but like they swing it now in my own words to Mrs. Camille Robinson Richie. Madness. I really don't know. I don't know what's going on in this country. I never thought that I would have lived to see at my 67 years age to see the politics come so nasty and dirty.
Yes.
They're going down a road there, oh God, it is not good. It is disgraceful, disrespectful, and everything. I want to say good morning to Mano. Good morning to Passing Street. Morning to all the trusting and obeying people of Trinidad and Tobago. Morning, Dominic. And as I always say, keep your guard up, my brother. Don't let it down. Now is the time to be much more wise and watchful. Take care of the children and you be safe for the nation. Stop it. Blessed love to all.
Thank you. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dominic. How are you doing, boy?
I am good, sir. How are you going?
Good, man. Good. Well, my daughter, I recognize she deserves it, eh? She deserves it. She
yes.
Very hard. She take a little blind this morning. I'm happy. Sharon, my daughter, wherever you are, you relax, and we will know you'll be coming out steaming because it's the last week going before the Tobago election. So let me say good afternoon to Titans at home and abroad. I will summarize my salutation because I want to weigh in on what the point Dominic has made, because I spent quite a few years myself, 50-something years in the public service. And the point that Dominic is making, I want to share to people of Tobago. Tobago, turn up your volume because you need to hear this. There's a big word. The lady who called just now there, madam, you know what it is? It is called distraction. It is called Cambridge Analytica distraction. To move you away from the real and main issue, to have you gobbled up and confuse you, and have you anxious to make the wrong decision. That is what it's all about. And that is why you see things like what happened with Minister of Finance, and they come up with the distraction. And it's the same thing happening in Tobago. An opportunity to distract you. So I want to say to the people of Tobago, I'm not going to go into all the things about that because that will take a little time. But it is fundamentally a Cambridge Analytica strategy to distract you because the Auditor General has not spoken anything about corruption and theft. That's not there in it at all. If you listen carefully to what Dominic said, she was talking about documents that have been missing and it's across the board in all ministries. So it's a systemic problem, which I know that the Prime Minister in the second term will address because I mentioned that in the last term that he will deal with that in a particular way, dealing with that report. So that really is a distraction. And I want to say to the people of Tobago, what are they distracting you from, people of Tobago? Tobago, please, I want you to listen for 2 minutes. Why are they distracting you? And why are they trying to pull wool over your eyes? Whenever people trying to do that, they want to move you away from something good. They want to move you away from something good. Now, what it is they're trying to distract you from? Well, let me tell you. A very important matter in the development of any country is leadership. You know this what happened in America? Poor leadership. And the whole country is in a mess. Leadership is a critical matter, and they want to distract you from that. That's a big issue. And you see, Tobago, in the words of Orville London, you're big and you have sense, I love when you say that. He always tell you that in Tobago, Mr. Orville London, a man that I have great respect for, he always tell you in typical Tobago style, you're big and you have sense. I will tell you, you have political wisdom and you have political intelligence. You know why? Because here are the people that came from the soil, the Tobago soil. So you produce tremendous leaders in this country, and there is no reason for you to turn back now, Tobago. You have produced tremendous leaders for Tobago and for Trinidad and Tobago. You produce APT James, and he's a man that fought for self-determination in Tobago. And the reason why they named the boat after him is because one of the issues he fought for was sea transportation. He wanted to improve the transportation between Trinidad and Tobago by sea. And that is why the government of Trinidad and Tobago named it the APT James, a leader for Tobago issue. And then I move on to Arthur Napoleon Raymond Robinson.
chairman of the THA, prime minister and president, a distinguished gentleman, a leader who displays qualities of competence, character, integrity, discipline, and action. And then I move on to Mr. Orville Delano, London. Yes, former Chief Secretary and former High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, former Ambassador to Germany, Finland, Norway, Sweden, and Denmark. That is in stature of people you produce as leaders in Tobago. And now I go on now to Bishop Claude Berkeley. He is a Tobagonian and he's head of the Anglican Diocese in Trinidad and Tobago. And then I come to Chief Justice Iwer Archie, the youngest person to be named the Chief Justice in Trinidad and Tobago. And then I come to the top of the topper, Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, opposition leader and then a prime minister, and in my view, the man of the decade in Trinidad and Tobago. That is the type of leadership. That is the type of leaders you have produced. And now, the administration have presented you with another fine young lady, Miss Tracy Davidson Celestine. And hear this. She's a former deputy chief secretary. She has had 16 years of political experience. She's a former ambassador for Costa Rica. So she has leadership role and leadership position and capacity. That is what you have given Trinidad and Tobago. Why do you want to turn back now? Examine the people on the other side. What about their character? What about their competence? What have they done? What have they shown in terms of leadership? I have called the people you have produced for Trinidad and Tobago, and not one of them could stand side by side with them. And the latest one, you have an opportunity, Tobago, to create history. You know why? You have an opportunity to elect the first female chief secretary of Tobago House of Assembly. You have that. You have the opportunity to create that record, to give her a 12-0 red wash, to put in the record, the political record books. You have that. Do not lose it, because she's a lady of substance. She has demonstrated her standards and her quality, as I said before, by being the former ambassador to Costa Rica.
All right, the ad's coming up, Mr. Chance.
All right.
All right.
How long it may have to be?
You want to hold?
Let me. Mama, we reach. We finally reach. Hey, the bacchanal round flag. Because we reach in the savannah. Put your hands up, jump up. We reach in the savannah. Put your hands up, jump up. We reach in the savannah. Put your hands up, jump up. We reach in the savannah. Put your hands up, jump up. Mash up the savannah stage and mash up the savannah stage and mash up the savannah stage and mash up the savannah stage. Put your hands up, jump up. Put your hands up, savannah. Put your hands up, jump up. Put your hands up. Jump it up and up, jump it up and up, jump it up and up. Jump it up and up, jump it up and up, jump it up and up. Jump it up and up, jump it up and up, jump it up and up. Jump it up and up, jump it up and up. All you're getting there, this is not a fetting here, this is madness. Madness on the road. What you waiting for? Everything you did before was practice. Now the real thing starts. The madness starts. The mass now starts. The bacchanal now starts. Because we reach in the savannah. We reach in the savannah. They don't know what you're lava. They don't know what you're wanna. The home of panorama. The capital of soca. We reach the savannah. Mash up the savannah stage and mash up the savannah stage and mash up the savannah stage and mash up the savannah stage. Put your hands up, jump up. Put your hands up, savannah. Put your hands up, jump up. Put your hands up. Jump it up and up, jump it up and up, jump it up and up. Jump it up and up, jump it up and up, jump it up and up. Jump it up and up, jump it up and up, jump it up and up. Jump it up and up, jump it up and up, jump it up. We don't care about recession. When the year we come to down, we jamming on the road. Look at pretty mass, got them nothing pretty fast. We whining, now the whining starts. The whining starts. The madness
January 25th. Put your X by the ballot and vote for the PNM in the local government by-election. For Arima Central, Dr. Juliet Hillary Bernard. For Canupia, Rashid Ali. For Hindustan St. Mary's, Martina Lubon Lejar. For Hollywood, Leslie Shang Fong. And for Montcoco Alice Glenn, Janelle Schuler Smart. All our PNM candidates are committed to serving their communities with excellence. On January 25th, vote for excellence. Vote for the right choice. Vote for the PNM. Great is the PNM, and we shall prevail.
Voice PNM all the way on election day. It's the right choice at the right time. Hands in the air for the police. Hey.
Soka Prison, the movie, coming soon to cinemas near you. January 13, starring Neil Iwer George, AMC, Farmer Nappy, Lil Bits, Colonel Roberts, Doggy Slaughter, Swappy, Kevin DaCosta, Jade Campbell, Trinidad Killer, Jojo, Big Mike, Mr. Grill, Andrew Jeffers, Shiggy, Andrew Bailey, Rome, Oliver Blue, Marlon Duncan, Health, and many soca stars of Trinidad and Tobago. Coming soon to cinemas near you. Soca Prison, all COVID-19 protocols observed. Streaming now on www.socaflix.com. Caribbean Cinemas and IMAX TT, January 13.
Better vision for your physical eyes, and through the eyes of faith, let healing arise in your mind, body, and spirit. At Natural Heal Ministries, we teach kingdom principles for living that brings the blessing of God to your mind, body, and soul.
NHM Professional Associates are located at number 10 Moody Stewart Street, Monrepos, San Fernando. For more info, contact Dr. Desmond Phillip at NHM on 349-3494.
NHM Professional Associates can be heard live on the Street 919 FM every Saturday from 9:05 to 9:55 a.m.
The Gospel of the Kingdom radio program with Gilbert James is now on the Street 919 FM every second, third, and fourth Thursday from 8 to 9 p.m. and every first and third Sunday from 12 a.m. to 5 a.m. Monday. The Bible says, the Gospel of the Kingdom shall be preached in all the world as a witness to all nations, and then the end shall come. For more info, call 652-0924 or 298-4540 and join us every second, third, and fourth Thursday from 8 to 9 p.m. and every first and third Sunday from 12 a.m. to 5 a.m. Monday for the Gospel of the Kingdom radio program with Gilbert James.
Natural boost, ginger lime, turmeric. Keep away every sickness. Get a bottle of this real spice. Make a healthy choice in your life. And let me drink up the juice. And let me drink up the thing from the roof. And let me drink up the thing from the fruits. The juice. En route to the ultimate you.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iwer George on Instagram. Share the live. Iwer TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
And welcome back, Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you for staying locked to the Street 919 FM. Mr. Chance, you there?
Yes, Dominic, and thank you. I
Yes,
just have two more quick points to make. Because I spoke of leadership, Dominic, and that was a main issue in the general elections of 2020. Leadership, and it must be an important factor in the Tobago election. Because leadership brings with character, credibility, integrity, and action. The second one, Tobago, you know what they want to hide from you? But they can't hide it. The development that has taken place throughout the length and breadth of Tobago. They can't hide it. You could see it. You could feel it. You could touch it. You know it. When you drive through Tobago, I was talking to a friend this morning who was in Tobago for a couple of days, and he told me, wow, throughout the length and breadth, they can't hide that. They're trying to hide that from you, but they can't, because you could see it. It's physical. And you also know that the people in themselves are developed. And what about your future now, Tobago? You have good leaders. You have good development. What about your future? Tobago? What about your future? Well, I want to tell you, what I've read in your manifesto gives me a great idea of what
the future is for the people of Tobago. They are talking about providing young people with 2,000 house lots. Imagine that, a preference given to young people. House lots, and then building about 400 homes in the 4 years, and the trust to improve the agriculture, to make Tobago once more the breadbasket of Trinidad and Tobago, which will create job opportunities and development of the economy. And this one touched me very much when they spoke about Tobago now have the capacity. Listen to that, Tobagonians. In the last budget, the government gave Tobago the capacity to borrow money on the international market for the development of the people of Tobago. And you know what? In Trinidad and Tobago, the UNC said, no, that mustn't happen. But I want to remind them, the country is Trinidad and Tobago, not Trinidad and Siparia, not Trinidad and Barracoa, not Trinidad and Chaguanas. It is Trinidad and Tobago. Side by side we stand. So Tobago is equal to the challenge. And that is why I can say, Tobago, make that right choice. Stand up and make that right choice. And as I said, is Licks in Roxborough and a red wash in Tobago. Thank you very much, Dominic.
Okay, listen, okay. Thank you, sir. Let's see who we have.
Dominic.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon.
Greetings.
Yeah, Mr. Chad. Well said. I hear the passionate in your voice, man. Right? And Tobago, I hope you're all listening. Do not fall for what Duke and ex-Donald Trump to mash Tobago up. You all have something going, a good leader, right, in the Tobago House Assembly. We have a prime minister that's leading and making sure both countries, Trinidad and Tobago, well on course for the future. So the sea bridge being fixed. So don't mess that up, Tobago. But Dominic, you know what I have to say, man? How you open your program and you talk about the Auditor General. Why did UNC do not talk about what the Auditor General said when they was in power 5 years ago? There's documents for project never turning yet. Come on, UNC, answer those questions before you all jump on the ship to Tobago. We want to know what happened to those receipts that the Auditor General said was not turning under your all administration. When you all could understand that, I think Tracy should answer you all. Okay, Dominic? You have a nice day, man.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, Dominic, man. Hey, Dominic, man. Morning, man. How you going, brother?
I good, man.
I'm trying to get him a whole hour now, man. Give thanks still. Dominic, what they told me the check account was in 2015. At the end, it ended up in credit at 33 billion.
It was in credit around 6 billion when they came in 2010, and when they left, it was 33 billion in deficit.
Jesus. Would them borrow all that money to do? To thief? because they are the highest energy revenues. I want to talk to my Tobago people. Tobago, the seniors in Tobago. You all cannot do Dr. Rowley that. Do not break your brother heart. He's going through it because stress is a factor of what he's going through. Tobago have been seeing developments that you all have never seen before. Do not let those fake folly. You wanna call Tricky Tracy fake folly. You don't know if he's Watson Duke who's really leader. Fake folly. You all want to put a fake who has a next person personality who is being controlled by a next individual trying to be leader. Do not take God out of your thoughts. You all have a strong leader. You all already have a bird in hand. You all seen development in Tobago elders. Please come out and give Dr. Rowley that support. Do not break his heart to say that all his hard work has gone down the drain for the last 6 years. You all getting 2 fast ferries, brand new, right? They're going to find a reason if fake Farley and Watson get in there. They're going to find all kind of faults with the sea bridge, and then you all is going to suffer. You all are getting development. You all are getting a brand new terminal. It's not promises. You understand? They're talking about zip line. Look at the bigger picture since 2016. Why it is. I'm going in the barber shop this week. Tobagonians are going and meet a Tobagonian brother. He's an intellectual. He's a very smart guy. I want to find you. You just tell me what's going on in the ground in Tobago. Tobago, Dr. Rowley is all your brother. Watson, you can fake Farley is being controlled by David Lee and the UNC. It has nothing to do with race. They never, it's not race people we're talking why try to hide behind a proxy fake Farley when they could have put up it's Trinidad and Tobago. They always neglect Trinidad and Tobago. And they never contest any seats in Tobago in the THA. They does not put up any candidates in Tobago. Is a reason for that. So they're using fake Farley and Watson Duke to pull wool over all their eye. Dr. Rowley, I wish I had a father like that. My life would be better today. He tells you as it is. He's straight. He ain't touching, he not abusing with taxpayers' dollars. Tobagonians, the elders, the mothers, and the fathers, please do not break Dr. Rowley's heart and make his job harder, because if you all change hands in the THA, you all going to make Dr. Rowley work harder, because Watson Duke is a bacchanal man, and then you have fake Farley who's being pulled, he's going to be pulling his strings, and it's going to be chaos and confusion and bacchanal, and at the end of the day, you all at the back end is going to suffer. Tobago is going to suffer, and he's going to splurge. Tobagonians, you all know what you all have to do. I've always said, Dominic, I've always tell people, they don't understand. Dr. Rowley's the Russell Simmons of Trinidad and Tobago politics. When it's time for Dr. Rowley to defend the community, defend it. When it's time for him to defend his people, he does defend it. When it's time for him to defend country, he does defend it. You're not going to get another leader like that. He could have turned his back like some Afro-Saxon because he living in Trinidad and forgot where he came from. But your culture are bringing the elders in Tobago. I am talking to all you. I am middle-aged. I wish I had a father like that. I didn't have a father that was there for me like that. You're not going to see no other leader like this in a very long while. It's like seeing another Brian Lara, but you ain't going to see that again and our next Pele and our next Maradona. Tobago, forget fake Farley and forget Watson Duke. Dominic, I'll call back, brother. Good program.
Thank you, sir. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dominic.
Mr. Archer, how are you good?
Sir. Dominic?
Yes, sir.
Before I say anything, I want to say you have to learn to dance a yard before you dance abroad.
Yes.
You have to learn to dance a yard before you dance abroad. I want to make everybody in Trinidad, I want to make all you comfortable. When you hear this woman saying that UNC did more things in Tobago for Tobagonians than the PNM, brothers and sisters in Trinidad, they get Tobagonian mad. They get Tobagonian crazy. I wish all was in Charlottesville last night to see what took place in Charlottesville. Now, these people don't understand. Tobagonians take the Tobago, I want all you to know, Tobagonians take the Tobago House of Assembly election more serious than the general election. Mr. Chance, I understand we love the support, we love everything. But I want to make all you comfortable. When the UNC talk, they make Tobagonians more mad and more eager to go to the poll. Last night, going to Charlottesville, because I live in on the western side of Tobago. So I said, let me go in the east to see what really taking place, because I hear what they're telling me and it's too good to be true. So I say I want the one. Dominic?
Yes, sir.
Tobago, from the time you leave Scarborough, you meet Bacalet, and then you meet Hope. From the time you reach Hope, you read from Hope into Belgarden. That is the village before Argyle to go into Roxborough. We get a little lull away from Belgarden, because Belgarden, every single electric pole or everything that you could see is red. And when you reach into Roxborough, Dominic, take bet. Take bet that Tobagonians, that Watson Duke cannot win in Tobago. Right? They cannot win in Tobago at no time. They cannot win in Tobago. And we take him bet that he cannot win. And Dominic, this thing is... Dominic, let me tell you something. Tobagonians are serious people. And I'm glad of everybody talking and try to encourage us not to vote for what to do can't win, what to do can no factor here. And I want all of you to refrain from that, because I want to say Tobagonians are more politically schooled than Trinidadians. And we're taking the Tobago House of Assembly very, very seriously. And we will defend it. Nobody would want to do, and nobody would want to talk and say that this man will do more than input to be one, blah, blah, blah. They get us mad. Dominic, be comfortable. This will be 11. Right now, we have one seat that's giving us a little trouble. That way the independent candidates are. Good?
Right.
But presently, no. Let me tell you, it's a whitewash. It's a red wash. And I'm betting anybody want bet. Tell them to call me and come for bet. What you can file the losses. Morning.
Thank you, sir. And so let me just say good afternoon rather to the folks on YouTube. Anna Sisneth, Ricardo Henry, Keelan Jackson. What is that? Okay, let me see who we have there. Winbar, famous USS, apparently. Desh Rubin, Ram TT. What fake news you're talking about? I quoted for you the Auditor General's report. That's fake news? Well, if you're saying the Auditor General's report is fake news, well then what Fali is saying is also fake news. Because the same report it came from. Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, afternoon, Dominic.
Yes, sir.
Dominic, look, a lot of people will be talking to Fali in the sense that Fali doesn't know what Njuk and what Njuk is capable of doing and what Njuk has done. I have a different thought on that. I was thinking that Fali must have known the person that what Njuk is. So maybe, I'm not saying this is what happened, but I have doubts. Maybe they have a deal, whatever thing that they have. Because Fali can't sit down there and tell me he don't know who is Watson Duke and what Watson Duke is capable. But if you don't know, let me give him a little insight. Watson Duke is a WASA employee. He is on leave to handle PSA business. While on leave, Watson Duke was promoted in WASA. He's not there to perform his duties, but here what? WASA is now calling on us, the citizens, to pay more for water. But WASA has a problem in delivering water. So part of the problem of WASA is that they're not running efficient, and that's a major problem of WASA. Now, Watson Duke is an intelligent fella. But Watson Duke is running the PSA efficient, that's why he sent him 20 workers. So you get it a little more efficient so you can increase cooks. to give himself and those things. That's how unscrupulous this gentleman thinks. This gentleman, according to sources that have been bandied about in media and all about, and from people who's inside of the PSA, hasn't given an audited report for the PSA for several years. So to put Watson Duke at the head of a THA, it's a disaster. Because when he gets his allocation from the budget every year, what is it you think this man is going to do with it? You know, ask yourself this question. This man is so, unscrupulous. The man has no discipline. He doesn't follow instructions. He reneges on his word. He like Kamala Prasad Bitasa with the Mary King saga. When Mary King said that she talked to Kamala about the contract for her son, and Kamala said she didn't know nothing about that and all kind of nothing. These are the kind of people you want to handle your money. I mean, sometimes it's sick when I hear somebody to begin and telling it to mind your business, like Tobago business. Once as THA receiving taxpayers' dollars, it becomes my business. Because I am telling you, I pay the kind of money I paid in PAYE, and that money going back to the government to do things for the people. I can't qualify for a social program. And right now, out of a job, and I cannot qualify for a social program, and I'm not even close to 60. To get a NIS, and even to get an old age pension. And I'm not even sure if I may be able to get it, because as far as I hear from NIS, kind of problems with NIS and everything, but I must not sit down quiet and allow people who I know have a track record and you know what they do to put them there to finish dwindle the little bit of finances that the government have that I can benefit from. No, I'm not going to stay quiet. I'm going to come out and speak. Thank you very much, Dominic.
Thank you, sir. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Dominic.
Yes, sir.
With that information that you have there, I hope you pass on that information to the Tobago arm of the radio station next door. Because this is something that you have to pass it on to them. And in the morning, God's willing, you'll be there with Miss Felix, right? Tomorrow, right? Yeah, you will have to elaborate that same information about that so-called 2.5 million debacle that these people and them beating it like a dead doornail. To bury this thing already covered, because you just explained everything to us today, and it's making a lot of sense now. So this is not about Miss Tracy Celestin at all. This is basically about people who are hired in government offices, in government departments, and they're doing their work. Basically that's what it is in the auditor's report. And Mr. Romain,
yes, sir.
There's a difference between auditing. You know there's a difference between auditing and accounting, right?
Yes.
Auditing is much more deeper than accounting. It's
very much so, yes.
That means taking account of equipment, etc., other than money too. But the whole fact about that whole matter with that 2.5 debacle is basically people in the public sector in doing their work at all. And when you have somebody who's rotten at the core, and these 1,700 people voted for that individual with over 60,000 or 12,000 people in membership, that's supposed to tell you something about that individual. And he selling his second in command to say that he go run THA. Give me a break. Like I said again, pass on the information to me, so because, like I say, next week is the last slap of this THA election, and I think you need to put it in the head of these of some Tobagonians, not all, because like I say, Tobagonians are very intelligent people. They will make their decision next week, so God's willing.
Yes.
Thank you. So pass it on to them, because particularly that station in Tobago. Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to my brother.
Hey, Andrew.
Dominic. Yeah, good afternoon. I listen to a lot of people, and a lot of people feel like Tobagonian is really stupid people, you know. My mother was a Tobagonian, I always tell them that. I born in Trinidad and I get Tobago training. And my mother tell me when things you could see in the day. Don't look for flambeau or boulissé to look for it in the night. You're seeing it. You're seeing Watson Duke. Watson Duke is nothing good. The party, you got to take the symbol of the party. PDP. People Poison Party. It's destruction. Poison destruction. And if all of it wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen. That is why he is fighting. He pulled back. He don't want to go forward. But again, he playing. They push Farley in front. And I want to know what kind of teacher Farley was. Or is. Because if you could see a man was charged by the Trinidad and Tobago police, and you could go in a party and saying that you supported him, what about the children that you teach? What is saying about you as a teacher? Because it's before the court, for rape charge, it's before the court. And you're telling the children that you teach, it is nothing wrong in supporting a man that if the police hold him and charge him for rape, nothing wrong in supporting him. So ought to be aware of that man. Ought to be aware of that man. And all those old mothers who follow him too, they're telling their daughters and them, it is nothing wrong with that. That's what they're telling them, that, actions speak louder than words. You don't talk like how Farley beating up him out. Action, what's the action, and you will see it. And I know to be going in, I was up there 2013, when I hold Mr. Open Line and Hand in Market Square, and I shaking it and I tell him, I say, you're bringing home this, We're bringing home this. Because I get so angry when I hear Kamla and them up there. I get so angry when I play up inside Tobago. I say, bringing home this, And I tell him it. And then when we went up, I make history in Tobago. When they take 12 nails, it's the same thing coming out this wrong. They watching Duke and Farley and them are good trashing because they try to fool Tobagonians. So look how Dr. Rowley, when they ever had a boat on their own to say, yes, buy this boat. So you're seeing these things in the day, and Farley coming in the night to tell her, hey, you could do better than that. Anytime even making promise to you, you are a fool. Comfort is promise to a fool. And the man promise you things, he don't want to give it to you. He don't want to give it to you. He's promising you that. Dr. Wally promised, Dr. Wally bring it forth. And it have a next boat on the way. That 3 boats coming for the Coast Guard. So what do you want better than that? Farley and the PDP, People's Poison Party. That's all they want to put in place. And talk about they go do better for Tobago. When Tobago was using latrine outside, tell the younger ones and them about that. Don't have to tell them that. We used to use latrine outside. You have to go in the latrine in the night, light a candle, what torchlight. Tell them about that time. And look where we are now. Don't let Watson Duke try to, and Farley try to brainwash all them. And the older parents and them who play and care now, teach it and them. When you see a man something in a village, something a man waiting people in a village, everybody eyes used to be on him, and they keep him fast possible. So all your, and we have to be going, because I know them don't make up their mind what they're doing. Them don't make up their mind. Farley beating up himself. But he has to be, if he was a teacher, tell me how the children thinking about you now, how they looking at you now. Have a blessed day.
Thank you, Andrew. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you have an island erupts out in the sea, right? I want to make a jail out there, and don't send them on Trinidad when Duke makes start to thief in Tobago, because I all on, right? And next thing again, what I want to say, Roger and them have a match, right? Nobody is supposed to bring that match. In that thing, whether they go and march move, they'll all them try to think this country is thing and thief like sportsman, all of them. It's them who's supposed to march against to get out from the parliament in this country. They thief so much of people money, have people suffering, and the parliament still getting trouble. Yeah? And Roger will march against. That was supposed to march against. Look how the country come. Yeah? Look how the country, look how the world is now. Yeah? And you are going to march. The police and soldiers are supposed to beat them off the road if they're in crowd. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Castle Soca Shot on the street 919.
Hey. Hey.
If you see me in the country and moving like a monkey, I drunk, but I mind my own business. If you see me in the city and acting like a tipsy, I drunk, but I mind my own business. So leave me alone when I come through, yeah, move out the way, let me stunt. Leave me alone when I come through, yeah, move out the way. Leave me alone when I come through, yeah, move out the way, let me stunt. Leave me alone when I come through, yeah. So if you see me in a party, whining on every shorty, I drunk, but I mind my own business. If you search for my location and find it in a station, I drunk, but I mind my own business. So leave me alone when I come through, yeah, move out the way, let me stunt. Leave me alone when I come through, yeah, move out the way. Leave me alone when I come through, yeah, move out the way, let me stunt. Leave me alone when I come through, yeah. I drink the rum whole day, I drink the rum whole night. Don't study you not at all, I just want to drink more rum, more alcohol. Whole day, I drink the rum whole night. Don't study you not at all, I just want to drink more rum, more alcohol. Not bottle and spoon and drink the rum, beat iron and drum and drink the rum. Girl wind up on me and drink the rum. Drunk fashion, knock bottle and spoon and drink the rum. Beat iron and drum and drink the rum. Girl wind up on me and drink the rum. Drunk fashion, I drink by myself. My rum is my friend. My girl she go close, still doing the most. If you see me on a Monday and act like if it's Friday, I drunk, but I mind my own business. If you see me on a Juve and act like if it's payday, I drunk, but I mind my own business. Just leave me alone when I drinking my rum. Just leave me alone. Whining on girl. Just leave me alone if I causing a scene. Just leave me alone. Just leave me alone. Just leave me alone.
Enagic changed your water, change your life. Enagic water purifier, one machine, 5 types of water. Enagic makes strong Kangen water with an 11.5 pH. Kangen water with 8.5 to 9.5 pH, healthy drinking and cooking water. Clean water with 7.0 pH. Beauty water for skin, hair and plants with a 6.0 pH. Strong acid water with a 2.5 pH. This water is known to disinfect, kill viruses and bacteria. Listen to the Street 919 FM with Pastor Alkaline John every Tuesday from 11:05 a.m. to noon and every Wednesday from 8:05 p.m. to 9 p.m. as he talks to you weekly about how to improve your quality of life through purifying and drinking water. For more information, call or WhatsApp Pastor John at 516-286-7079.
Soca Prison, the movie, coming soon to cinemas near you. January 13, starring Neil Iwer George, AMC, Farmer Nappy, Lil Bits, Colonel Roberts, Doggy Slaughter, Sloppy, Kevin DaCosta, Jay Campbell, Trinidad Killer, Jojo, Big Mike, Mr. Grill, Andrew Jeffers, Shiggy, Andrew Bailey, Rome, Oliver Blue, Marlon Duncan, Health, and many soca stars of Trinidad and Tobago. Coming soon to cinemas near you. Soca Prison. All COVID-19 protocols observed. Streaming now on www.socaflix.com. Caribbean Cinemas and IMAX TT, January 13.
This is Bishop Aaron Williams from the Divine Problem Solving International Ministries, inviting you to be part of our broadcast on any given Thursday night from 12 midnight right on to 5 a.m. on Friday morning. And this broadcast is called Early Morning Gospel Market Program. Then we have on Tuesday from 12 noon to 1 p.m. the Holy Ghost Gospel Pharmacy. If you are sick and ill and you could get from this particular pharmacy, from the pharmacist, the good things of life. Hallelujah. And any Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, break into the host of the Philistines. Hallelujah. If you are sick and tired of being sick and tired, hearing the babel of false doctrines that you encounter daily, it's about time you get close to God. God's word direct from his throne room in the name of Jesus.
God has good plans for his people. Why do you worry so much?
Renting a car in Tobago should be quick, affordable, and easy. Wow. Here at Oni Rentals, we make the process as simple as possible by using our easy e-sign-up. Yep, we can sign you up from just about anywhere using our tablets. See? All done. And everything goes straight into the cloud. Yeah, you're on your way. Are you coming to Tobago? Book your car rental with us and enjoy the most affordable rates in Tobago. But hurry, because cars go pretty fast. Call 361-1042. That's 361-1042. One more time, 361-1042. O'Neill Auto Rentals, Tobago, taking you further.
Finally, a line of baking products that caters for the gluten-free, cholesterol-free, egg-free, and dairy-free person, enriched with sesame, flax meal, and chai seeds. Also try our line of seasonings and spices that are ideal for diabetic, kidney, heart, colon, and hypertensive persons. Perfect for the whole family. Healthy O, the healthier way to go. Find it in a supermarket near you.
Share the line. Share the line. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the line. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the line. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the line. The Street 919 FM.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying locked to the Street 919 FM. Hello, good afternoon. Okay, we lost that one. 221. Don't know what happened there. Call back. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon again, Dominic.
Yes, sir.
Dominic, we see what poor leadership and people with no credibility and integrity that have happened in the United States of America. Tobago had a seed as to what it is. Always intelligent people. When you put people in office just because you like them, and they don't have any integrity and credibility like Donald Trump, when the confusion and the bacchanal start and the selfishness start, the people at the end, the citizens of Tobago, who are going to suffer. Tobagonians, as I said, you always see the example of Donald Trump, a president, a man getting impeached twice. Half the cabinet fired, they turn against him. If Watson Duke had any integrity, he would not be saying one thing and then saying something else. He would not be collecting what he could say in one thing, that he resigned from PSA and he's this and he's that, and then you have fake Fali with no credibility. If our man best friend, right, is a man who have no integrity, what do you think what you think about that person? That means that person will have identity of his own. That's why I call him fake Fali. He's a fake. He's not himself. He's being controlled. When a man following a person with no integrity and credibility, and because of selfish interest, and he does not have identity of his own. So the Tobagonians see what's going on in America. So you all will cannot say, Mr. Archer, I'm holding you to your word. Do not break Dr. Rowley's heart. I'm calling for the seniors in Tobago. He's not well right now. He's recovering and stress is a part of it. Do not make his job harder. We must let Dr. Rowley go. He must retire on top like Brian Lara. He must leave on top. right? He must leave with a very light heart and a smile on his face after he make his contribution. Because as I told people, I saw Brian Lara bat. I didn't used to listen on the radio. I used to go and see him in the Oval. I sit down with Dwight, or his son. Dwight York told me some things. He confided some things. I have an eye for greatness and people.
Alright, sorry about that, caller, but the battery died on that line. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hi.
Dominic.
Hi.
Dominic.
Yes, ma'am.
I think I heard all your callers this morning. I agree with all of them. And I love Mr. Chance for putting it over as he knows best, agreeing with what you said. And I'm saying, people, let not your heart be worried. Trust Mr. Archer. Because people in Tobago, they're not only hearing and getting promises, they have seen what was done. So I have no fear that what is to be will be. And people who, when they say don't let the demon get into P&M, people, all you know who to vote for, they themselves. They tell you who to vote for because they know that they are P&M till they're dead. Right? So all you have no worry, all you know who to vote for. Let's see, all you don't want a thing more in Roxborough, they'll afford up there. Have every state of the art thing. And on the other side getting it too. So I have no fear. I'm not worried. So everybody, you know what to do. So on the 25th, the night of the 25th, we know what we have to say. Great is the P&M, and it shall prevail. And Dominic, before I go, I want to say, Juliet, I'm very heartbroken for what I've heard. We know that you're a fighter. We in your corner, and I empathize with what is going on. So I hope that you will come out of this very shortly. We don't know what these circumstances really are, but we have to hope that there's nothing that will have to pauperize you anymore. Because every little thing you have to take lawyer. So, Juliet, we know we're standing in your corner, so we listen to hear what is happening. Dominic, thank you. Have a wonderful day. And don't let all your heart be troubled. Thanks.
Thank you, Zina. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, Dominic.
Hey, Mr. Potterspeed.
Well, first, I think, no, not the first time, but yeah, but you know, all the best for 2021.
And to you.
919, home and abroad. Thank you, Dominic. A lot of people is telling me that what they are hearing, they now realize the kind of person that you are. I tell plenty of them that, after when Dominic come on, they can't challenge him. Dominic is the most of the shameless people I know at the UNC and some of the supporters. Shameless. All these things. We could talk from next year and bring it backward to this year, and we can't finish it with the things that they pauperize this country with. Almost carry Trinidad and Tobago wholesale. Even afraid. There was this fighting Dominic, and it was quite like you said, NGC, Petrochem, a fellow put in a basketball for $10 million, a leader of the opposition, now sending speedy recovery for the Prime Minister, and in one hand, pushing and saying everything collapsing, then see one collapse, coded message, and then it's got that way like when she say the black man, everybody in the world who could understand English, if they can't understand English, they will get an interpreter to hear the woman who have a problem with the truth saying that she didn't say the black man, she said blank. Dominic, what part
our sentence you could mix up and appear to have drunk within a statement what she made.
Yeah.
No, we wrote it. You know? We wrote it and we have, oh gosh, bring back Kamala. These people are the shameless and ungrateful. Good morning to you, Marlene and Donald. I know I had plenty of them. They're very, very much. And Dominic, I want to find out something. Don't we have a bill in this country to follow the money?
Yes, the civil asset forfeiture bill.
Well, I hear one saying that we have 2 houses. Me, I work fair and square with the government for years. I have no 2 houses. So I want to know if all of a sudden, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, but tell you what to make to it, oh my gosh, I suddenly believe that I have a house to boast and tell people that they jealous me because I have 2 houses. Dominic, another fella appear on a video. Millie's daughter said, Daddy, 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 that is not your friend. I said, darling, shh, don't say nothing. Yes, the Prime Minister can't identify one of your own cabinet ministers. You imagine that, Dominic? And these people have the call and the concern to tell me that they was running Trinidad and Tobago to deal with the issues and the poor people. They had pauperized people in Trinidad and Tobago, and some of the foolish ones, they were thieving, and we was getting, Dominic, if you have a bucket of water, and every day you're dipping out it, and no water going back in it, what would eventually happen, Dominic?
Yes.
Dominic?
Yes, sir.
And I want to leave with this one. Dominic, I went up at one time, so I know as a master, to Petrochin. It had carnival issue going on. And when I heard what the chairman of Petrochin was getting, Dominic, and a provision was made for sick leave allowances, I want to know, Dominic, all these things is just to be covered together with the finance minister who got $10 million to serve in a cabinet as a finance minister. Who way back, the very set way back now, had a relative close to him having a chair cost $20 million. Didn't know the difference between a legal document and a parliamentary document. So much that he stopped Jack Warner from bringing the issue of a conflict of interest with the then finance minister. All you might know his name, Tom the Starter, I'm afraid to call me. I think you're not kind of Chinese. Oh, why, who, how, why, you understand? These people on them, when they could tell Trinidad and Tobago, how a man could leave here, going with $7 billion, and all that the contract saying that they can't return anything. I want to know, the Peter wastewater, I hear one who say he wasn't in the video that attacked Dr. Rowley on that. But here what I'm telling you, Dominic, they're afraid, you know. You know why they're afraid, you? They don't come with fake news. Facts, I hear one of them say fake news. The Auditor General reported fake news. Eh? It's fake news for them. Again, Dominic Avedon, thanking you very much for allowing me this contribution. And I can't forget Mary McDonald. Girl, I know people are really ungrateful. But you see this one? Nah, I can't take this one. Oh my gosh. Thank you very much, Dominic, for helping me to produce a fair contribution this morning. I know when it's morning, when it's evening, when it's afternoon, good night. To be a good caller on the radio. You must know the time of your day. You can't come on and talking about this evening and good night when you're meeting a crowd and you're addressing a crowd. I wonder if you know about that. When you want to be king on the radio, you have to know all these facts, you know. You can't just come on the radio like a kind of fellow who can't recognize the name on a draft board and things. We have no problem with that. But don't go across and tell people that you're the king of the radio. The king of the radio,
Thank you very much, Dominic.
Thank you.
And good morning to you, Mr. Chance. You put thrill in our body today. You told to have the kind of callers with your ability. Dominic and Juliet, good morning to you, my dear. I will touch base with you in a little bit. Thank you very much for allowing me this contribution. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dominic.
Yes, sir, good afternoon.
I'd like to leave a couple of words for all the contributors to keep in mind. Words like syndicate, affiliation, allies, and amalgamation. When we consider the things that certain entities doing in our jurisdiction of Trinidad and Tobago, the manner in which they conduct themselves, the type of association and organization that they incorporate into their day-to-day political activities, then you could see where the syndicates are, where the allies are, and where the amalgamation come together. Because the things that you see happening and the words that you hear coming out of certain political entities' mouth, if you look across the water and listen, the reflection is clear. And as for my sister Juliet, let's remember that when you address that syndicate, they sometimes reach out and touch you. So we have to be very careful and wary of the shadows that hide in the corners. Crazy thing. And in Tobago, the people have to be wide awake because the same affiliation and the same syndicate are working there too. Just look at the resemblance. It's not hard. Don't look at the color. Look at the resemblance. Because sometimes the color is fool you. All right? You all have a good day.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hey, Dominic, good afternoon again.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just wanted to send out a shout out to Teresa. Stay strong at this time. Keep on praying. And Miss Cummins, Lasky. And Janetta and Wayne, happy Beulah to a silent little of yours. She don't move a radio station, Miss Beulah. Right? Happy belated birthday again. Okay, Dominic, thank you for the opportunity. Good program. Look forward to listening to your program. Have a good day.
Hello. Hello. Morning. Not morning, eh? Good afternoon. Dominic, wait 1 minute, please. Let me load on this radio.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, no problem. I have about this ex-minister of finance, and that he received for holding that post.
Yes.
What money was that? Was it our taxpayers' money?
Yes, it was.
Can we get back to that 11 million was given?
Well, I doubt.
Well, I find we should get back that money because that money wasn't, the Prime Minister won't give it out. Because those kind of jobs, you don't have to pay nobody for holding them kind of posts. It's up to them to accept yes or no.
Correct.
Why he have to be paid for that?
And still receive that salary as minister.
This is the next case for investigation.
Yeah, and he still received the salary as a minister.
And up to this day, receive a salary?
No, while he was minister, even though he got that 11 million, he was still receiving his monthly pay as a minister, as Minister of Finance.
No. This can never happen and get away with it. This is high-class corruption. Or they could take that money, that 10 to 11 million, and just give it to somebody to hold a public post, which is up to the person to decide if they want it, yes or no.
Correct.
Well, that's why I wanted to find out if you could get back that money. We could do that money now.
Yes.
Right now in this COVID situation, I could do it a little bit. Anyway, that's what I wanted to ask.
Thank you.
All right then.
All right. Well, folks, the ads are upon us, out of time, but not out of things to say. So, join us again in the morning, Titans of Democracy, where we will probably continue to treat with this and other issues as we head into the THA elections on the 25th. So, do enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I am out.